Why did you turn that tequila shot down on New Year's?
It was too close to the Don lemon firing.
Don.
And Don used to get drunk the right way and could keep it journalistic. And, you know, they always drinking on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
CNN. And, you know, Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper. I don't know if I want to drink with you motherfuckers. I don't feel safe.
Right.
Now, if I go into CNN offices and my name is up there, I'm on the mural in the hall.
We good.
I'll pull up.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharp. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. Stopping by for conversation and a drink today, the master of observational comedy, one of America's most respected cultural commentators. Forbes declared him one of comedy's best journalists, a fan favorite, an Emmy Award-winning correspondent, an Emmy Award and Writers Guild of America nominated producer and a writer. An award-winning host. He's entertained millions as a consistent figure on television and radio for more than 2 decades. An internationally known comedian who makes you think. A dynamic force and entertainer. A famed actor, acclaimed television personality, accomplished entertainer, thought-provoking journalist, a beloved philanthropist, an author and a father. Please welcome to the show, Roy Wood Jr.
I appreciate that.
How'd that intro?
You read it like you rehearsed it.
I just like to give people, when people come on my show, I really like for them to receive their flowers. Because sometimes I don't know if they've heard it or they realize what they've done. Because a lot of times when you're in it, you're not cherishing it because you got to get to a destination and you're on the journey. So you don't get time to reflect like, damn, man, I did all that. Man, I did a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time. So I want you to hear what we think of you.
I think smelling your own flowers feels arrogant. So that's why I never really stopped to do it.
Really?
Yeah, it's the idea of, yeah, you did that, but you could do better. You could do more. You can show me anything I've done and I'll show you where the mistake was. I mean, you watch game tape.
Yes.
You didn't had 4 touchdowns in the game. But the one I dropped.
That's the one you remember.
And so for me, a lot of it is just being rooted in how can I improve, man? And so you just don't look back at it because you're just trying to just get better.
Last time somebody offered you a drink, you turned it down. I mean, normally when people come on Club Shay Shay, we toast with, I don't know.
I'll drink with you.
Okay.
Now I'll drink with you. This you gotta understand, this is an understood drinking show. You got liquor in the decoration. So it's
Let
understood.
me ask you a question. You know cognac? You understand behind cognac, how it's made?
Which one is it? It's in France.
Cognac.
Cognac has to be made on a special street in France.
In the cognac region, it has to, the first 2 years, the cognac, it has to originate in that region.
Okay.
In order for it to be a cognac. Now, a whiskey or a bourbon or a wine could be in California.
Same with tequila, got to come from this section of Mexico. It's not, otherwise it's whatever. Right. Okay. This
is a combination of an Uni Blanc grape and a Petite Champagne. So the origin of this is a grape.
Okay.
From that region, and no artificial colors, no added sugar, so you don't get that burn. You'll be able to taste, smell, and to taste the notes, the marshmallows. Let me know what you think.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's smooth, sir. That's it changed my pull. That's smooth right there. Yeah. This is way better than the shit I was drinking at FAMU. We was drinking E&J, boy.
Well, you was on a budget at FAM.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We had $20, and we would go down to Jack's Liquor, pay a homeless person $5 to go in there and get us $15 or whatever you could come back with, sir.
We'll take it.
Yeah. He go, I'm going to do you right, young bloods. He go in the liquor store 10 minutes and be walking around, come back out with some E&J and some Stoli and $4 change. Like, you're done good.
When you let me ask you a question. You did say that, when you're working, you don't drink on the job. Why did you turn that tequila shot down on New Year's?
Oh, you talking about the CNN?
Yeah.
So, they always drinking on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
CNN. And, Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper, and everybody was drinking. They had us out there. it was too close to the Don Lemon firing.
Yeah, Don.
And Don used to get drunk the right way and could keep it journalistic.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like at the time, I'm gonna just be real, if we being blunt, I'm new to this network. I think we had only been on there 10 episodes yet.
Right. Okay.
We hadn't even got the re-up for the next 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to drink with y'all. I don't want to be that comfortable yet in this space when I don't necessarily know my place within the hierarchy. Also, journalism is way more catty than Comedy Central or like any entertainment. Just the world of journalism, like any TV station, way more catty than a cable show or a sports locker room or whatever job you work at, reality TV, what have you. It's a lot of cattiness, it's a lot of whispering, it's a lot of behind the backing going on.
Right.
And so I don't believe at any place that I work where I didn't create it that I'm safe.
Wow.
So I'm the host of a show on a Saturday night. The show we do now, Have I Got News for You? It's a remake of a British show. And if you look at political satire in Britain, the host is the least important part of the machine.
Wow.
It's the co-hosts that are stars, the guests that are stars. The host job is just to keep everything on track.
He's a traffic cop.
You're kind of a Vanna White, Kiki Shepard, with respect to those two. I've met them both. Your job is a little bit more just stay in the middle. Well, if I'm just staying in the middle, then I'm the most replaceable
Yes.
without changing the machine that you've built. So I don't know if I want to drink with you motherfuckers. I don't feel safe.
Right.
Now, if I go into CNN offices and my name is up there, I'm on the mural. You know, you in them TV stations, they got the mural with all the niggas that done a good job. It'd be me, Abby Phillip, it'd be Jake Tapper. If I'm on the mural in the hall,
We good.
I'll pull up. But I'm new here. I don't know y'all. I'm not finna be just on TV drinking like that.
What did you learn from the Don Lemon fire? He had been there for 17 years. He'd been held in very high esteem. Done a great job. I think he does a great job. What did you learn? Because I think he said something about they fired him because I think he said like Nikki Haley is past her prime. And maybe they used
Well, that's what they said. But was that the reason? What they saying what the reason might be is two different things. Right. I think if you really look at it, knowing what we know now that we're post Jimmy Kimmel, I think that and even Amber Ruffin and her beef with the White House Correspondents Association, with them pulling her off the dinner because they wanted her to be both-sided with her jokes. I think that what happened to Don Lemon was really a precursor to some of the media censorship that we see starting to happen now, where you have particular organizations that are gonna, try and make a particular head roll or settle a lawsuit with the administration, all in the sake of making sure that the messaging is a little more centrist and a little bit more on brand for whatever will benefit the company's bottom line. I think a lot of what Don Lemon was starting to say at that network, and keep in mind, this is also after Don had gotten into it with Vivek Ramaswamy on the air, and they were told, hey, keep the questions over here, but Don was like, nah, the meat is over here. I learned a lot, really in a lot of ways, man, because, the Don Lemon firing also showed me what the network, what CNN at that time, under that leadership at the time, was the way they were trying to turn the network into, let's be a little less liberal, let's try and be a little bit more centrist. Don, if you start getting out of line, we're gonna put the heavy hand on you. And I couldn't see all of that from the outside at the time. And when Don got fired the same week as Tucker Carlson, which was also the same week I did the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And I went harder at Don than I should have at that time. And we tight work now, and to Don's credit, because he was the one who reached out to me, and we talked a little bit about it. And he goes, here's what you're not seeing, here's what you need to be more. He filled in the picture for me.
Okay.
I wrote a joke with one eye, covered up. And so when I look at media now, and then now being on, I guess, kind of the inside of the network. It's hard to say that I'm in the inside of CNN. I work on a Saturday, bro. Don't nobody be there.
Right.
You been in the building on
By
the I can steal shit. No, nobody. You know, you be in a building, just a motherfucking cubicle. They just got all these
Just you the cleaning
valuables.
services.
Yeah. I'm retired from stealing, but but I think Don's firing showed us years ago, 3-4 years ago, where things were starting to head when we're talking about the idea of how much freedom of speech do journalists really have.
But I think the thing is, for me, if I turn into the Weather Channel, I expect to see the weather. If I turn into this channel, because they're trying to be something, Fox makes no bones about what they are, about who they are.
Yeah.
When you watch their network, you're going to get what you expect to get.
Yeah, but you also got to remember that a lot of these media habits were developed under 2 terms of Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of this being a liberal-leaning thing, well, it's the popular thing right now. So we're going to lean into what's popular. And then when that's not popular no more, then you start figuring out how to rejigger your network, because people's tastes change. People's political influences change.
Okay.
And we have to stop thinking about corporations and media companies as these entities that have some sort of heart or have some sort of degree of sense of responsibility to the nah, big dog, we're here to make money. We need eyeballs so we can sell soap. I had an acting coach said the realest shit to me. She said, you are a soap salesman. Your job is to be so good that people don't change the channel when the commercial come on so they can be reminded to buy soap.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it.
So if we're here to sell soap, then they're going to constantly change. Like even the time, like if you look at what we have on our show, on my show now on Saturday nights, we had on Republican Rep Mike Lawler, we had Tim Burchett. Like, these are not good people in my opinion.
Right.
Or these are not people who have voted in the interest of the public, in my opinion.
Okay.
And we have them on. I don't know if these are the same people I would have been able to talk to if I worked at Daily Show, if I was still at the Daily Show, or if those are the type of people that we would have had on as a guest at the Daily Show. But I know for what we're trying to do on our side, we trying to talk a little bit and joke a little bit with both sides.
Right.
I know a lot of people got a lot of opinions because they say you shouldn't platform no assholes, no crazy opinions and stuff like that. But that's what we choose to do.
Have you come to the realization to say, you know what? I'm going to have to change my way of thinking. I'm going to have to be more open-minded, because in the past, ain't no way I could have sat down and had a conversation with you guys, because you're so far for what I believe in and what I think is in the best interest of the people. But because of this time, as you mentioned, things are changing now. The tides are changing. The winds are blowing in a different direction. Do you feel that, you know what, you had to change your thinking?
I think I've had to change my degree of tolerance. But I don't think it changes my opinion. I think one big thing that I would love to see happen in media is that there's less conversations with pundits and political influencers and more conversations with constituents.
Oh, okay.
And the people who—
So you like the town hall setups?
Yeah, but even more man on the street. Like, I love what Don Lemon's doing now. Don Lemon out there taking it to the folks. Yeah, he out there in the mix. No security either. Don, get your in a tight shirt. Protect you, brother. Like, but the idea of just, well, Trump's the president, so I guess I gotta explain to me why I should not have slavery in my museums. Please tell me. Like, it's the African American History Museum. History means encompassing the entirety, or as much as you want to encompass
History,
of a race
not
of people.
his story.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to frame it as his story.
It's they story. It ain't even his, they
Their story
about
now.
it. It's they story. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit and listen to you explain to me why this doesn't matter. I don't know how much calm and collected conversation you can have with somebody that's that steadfast. If we're talking policymakers and folks that are like political pundits on either side of an issue, right?
Because everybody got their talking points.
Correct.
And they're not deviating.
But if you talk to a voter, most people are single issue voters. Most people are voting on things that affect them directly, fiscally speaking.
But we didn't see that in this last election. People voted against their best interests, and now they're having revisionist history.
Okay, and so then would you be more inclined to talk to them? Because I feel like we would rather talk to the folks that influence those voters rather than just going and talk to the Latino for Trump who just got deported.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them they talked to and they said they still wouldn't have voted for Kamala.
Exactly. I'm looking at the farmers for Trump. Now, China just signed a deal to get soybeans from someone else. They're not buying our soybeans. And now, we hate socialism. We hate welfare. Well, they call it welfare when it refers to us, but they call it subsidies when it refers to somebody else.
Correct.
Now they're about to get subsidized, about to get bailed out. Everybody's for it.
Just like the banks.
I was like, hold on. I thought you didn't like when somebody got something for nothing.
That's different. That's different. That was the blacks. I'm a good white American. It's supposed to happen to me. I'm white. I mean, that's the biggest magic trick that rich people pull is getting poor white folks to think that they were one of them.
They bought it.
You're not.
They bought it.
You're not. I think that you have a better chance of having conversations with people who vote than members of the media. If we're talking about trying to change the country in any way. I don't know how much we gain anymore from, let me have a sensible conversation with you. We bring them on CNN, we gonna crack these jokes on your ass. And if embarrassment works, cool. If not, cool. Mm-hmm. But the idea of, I can't remember who it was or why it was, but Obama had like a beer, it was called the Beer Summit, or Obama sat down.
Oh yeah, when the police officer and Henry Louis Gates.
Yeah, and Gates had been on Obama's neck. Mm-hmm. Him and Tavis Smiley.
Yeah.
So this idea of let's all sit down and kumbaya, okay, maybe. But I just think both sides, I think we're in a race right now to see which side can activate their voters more. The apathetic voters.
Yes.
I don't think you flipping people right now.
Yeah, people that have decided there's nothing that he can do to turn them off, and I'm not so sure there was anything that she could have done to turn them on.
You ever met anybody in despair though, bro? Like legitimate hopelessness to the point where they have no choice, or they feel they have no choice, but to buy a lie. And then the embarrassment of saying that you're wrong was too great. So you have to buy the next lie and the one after that. So of course a farmer is never gonna come out right and go, yeah, I didn't know that this was gonna happen, because they're gonna get slapped in the face with I told you so's to no end. And they too scared of the embarrassment. And I'm not gonna be the one to tell liberals, yeah, you shouldn't be mean to the people that are suffering who voted for Trump. Well, they suffering too. You passing law, like if the administration is passing laws that make you feel a certain kind of way, yeah, I'm gonna hate on you for voting for them.
Yeah.
So I get where that comes from. Get that shit out your system. I think there's a lot of behavior policing. I just think we 6 months, not even. Yeah, we are. We're almost a year into what's gonna be, another 3 years of this.
Yep.
So you gotta figure out a way, once you're past getting all that yelling out your system, now that you're broke and now that you need some help on your farm, then you come back in the year, hey, how can I help you? But I think that most people would rather buy a lie because it's more calm, it's more peaceful, it's Matrix blue pill. It's easier to exist in the calm of being wrong. Because being right means that you have to admit that you were wrong.
I can't admit that.
How many people are willing to do that?
Freedom of speech, as we once knew it, is that only in the Constitution? Is that something that's going to be able to stand the test of time? Because it looks like we're getting closer and closer to there is no such thing as freedom of speech.
It's changing. I would have told, if you'd asked me a question a year ago, I'd have been like, freedom of speech is fine. You can say whatever you want, whenever you want. We'll see. I can tell you this much, they're not going to touch the comedians.
You don't think so?
Comedians have too much influence over the ideology of voters. Chappelle's and the Schultz's and the Gillis's of the world, the 85 Southers of the world, comedians, you start trying to lock them up.
Right.
Because they got the streets more than any politician does. And if you look at what happened with Jimmy Kimmel, that was one of the things where a lot of comedians, they didn't necessarily go at the administration, not all of them directly, but a lot of them sat and were like, yo, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't with Kimmel, but that's not cool.
Yeah. We're getting on a slippery slope here.
And then Kimmel's ass was right back on the air in under 72 hours. And all them demands that those TV station networks demanded that Kimmel do, they folded on that shit.
Right.
I don't think that, I think the administration for sure is stress testing, but honestly, you're not gonna need to suppress anybody's freedom of speech if you control the messaging. Why do I need to, say whatever you want. I just won't book you on this show. So I hope your YouTube tight. I hope you got numbers over there. If the Next Star merger goes through and they gain control of almost 80% of local television stations, ABC affiliated TV stations, then they control the messaging.
Right.
And I have a degree in broadcast, and I've worked in broadcast, and I've worked in radio. So I'm not just talking out my ass.
Yeah, you're absolutely
These
right.
stations are given national stories to carry. You can watch the local news in one market, and 2/3 of the stories, John Oliver did a story on this years ago. 2/3 of the stories in that market are airing in every other market. So they can dictate what they feed you. So you can have your freedom of speech, but eventually, freedom of speech is gonna be you on a corner, like one of them blow up. Like who gonna hear you? Who's gonna? So you have to build.
You remember what it was, Roy? We was growing up. You go to the grocery store, and there's a man. Jesus, he's coming, and he's standing on the soapbox,
Yeah.
and he's coming. He had the literature, and he's passing out. It was just him by himself.
And you looked at him like he was crazy.
You did.
You looked at him like he was crazy. So I don't think freedom of speech is one thing. I think suppression of messaging is something that's a little bit more of a prevalent issue to me. And then when you start with AI, you start with disinformation, and you're confusing people who are too lazy to sit and go and do a double check or a search. Freedom of speech is irrelevant if I got the messaging on lock and you dumb enough to believe it and run with it. We scroll and we look at everything through headlines, man.
Right. Clicks, whatever the headline read, okay, that's it.
Okay, so you get a journalist who decides to tell the truth or press the issue on air like Don Lemon. You just yank him off the air and put somebody else in who you want to do your bidding. Mm-hmm. So it would require for humanity to truly advance, it would require a level of fiscal self-sacrifice that I do not believe most Americans
Absolutely not.
are prepared to make. You know, I talked about this a couple hour specials ago, but it's like fire ants, right? When there's a flood and a fire ant mound gets flooded. This was happening in Texas during some hurricanes. The fire ants all form a ball.
A clump.
And that joint floats until it gets to dry ground. Now, while it's floating, it's constantly rotating. So the on the bottom,
They get some fresh air too.
it's fresh air. And they rotate back down to the bottom.
Yeah.
But periodically, some of them cats is gonna drown.
Yes. There has to be some sacrifice.
But the colony survives.
Yes.
And so if we're talking about people fighting against an administration or fighting against public ideology, then it would require more people all running up against that same buzzsaw. And in some degree, you know, a lot of people are hesitant. I don't necessarily believe that blind sacrifice is the only way to make progress. I think that there has to be a multi-pronged attack. But when you ask the question of, is freedom of speech under attack? Yeah, they stress testing. This year is stress testing just what we can get away with. Charlie Kirk's widow is suing. I forget the network or
I think she's doing ABC.
Yeah, it's ABC or The View. Somebody
for like 400 million.
I don't know the number. I don't want to get sued either. Just telling you what I heard.
Yeah.
But the idea of the media being policed down to the comma, that's how we're going to get you. We're not going to say you can't say anything. We're just going to go, technicality, want my money. And what's a corporation going to do? A corporation ain't finna take this to trial.
Right.
Sorry. We admit no wrongdoing. You admit that we did nothing wrong, and we wash our hands. It's 60 Minutes Trump, $16 million.
Right.
It's easier to settle. So now, if you're going to say anything bad about me, I'm going to tax you. But you still got freedom of speech.
Right.
Now, if you're the company that just had to pay out, let's just say Charlie Kirk's widow wins the money, she get the bread. Well, then the next time there's anything sideways or politically charged that needs to be said on the show, y'all gonna get called into that meeting before the show. Like, hey, motherfucker, y'all better shut.
Yeah.
All we gonna say is this: here's your words, and here. Freedom of speech, though, right?
Right.
So I think that you create an atmosphere where the media is scared to touch on anything because they know that there's a fiscal consequence, and the employees are scared to touch on anything because there's a fiscal consequence, and the only thing you're going to be left with is comedians and podcasters because they're the ones who don't give a fuck. They already been broke. They already been slept in their car. So threatening them with unemployment. Stand-up comedy is literally committing to unemployment for 3 to 5 years to start.
Right.
Hey, man, I want you to do this. I'm not going to pay you nothing. And I'm going to give you 2 chicken wings. And if you get booed, you don't get the chicken wings. So you're not that group of people.
Right.
You're not going to scare. And I believe that group of people will always have the highest of respect from the voting body. And I think that they will continue to be the most influential characters in politics. That's why podcasts became so prominent in the last election.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. We are in the thick of football season, and some of y'all might be feeling down, but don't worry. That's why we have Prize Picks to keep you going for the rest of the season. Week 8 of football was something special. Drake May is going to be special, and Saquon went crazy against his old team. More. And for all you basketball fans, welcome to the fun on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks offer injury reboots. If your player leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Feel sorry for our guy Scatterboo. Out there, download the Prize Pick app today. Use code Shannon to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Shannon to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. But we're headed down a real, and it ain't even slippery. It's just jet ski. It's just downhill. Because when you look at it, if you can't say anything negative about the president, we're headed to Russia, we're headed to China, we're headed to North Korea, we're headed to these, and I think that's kind of the direction that he's like, you shouldn't be allowed to say anything negative.
Yeah, but it's not just about the president. It's negative about anybody that supports his mission as well.
Correct.
So that's where it's and that's why I brought up the Charlie Kirk widow situation. And it's not just her. There's also all of these other public officials that are going, oh, well, you said something about me. Well, maybe I can get a little bit of money too. So do you make it illegal to say the thing? I think we are going to eventually be in a situation in this country where patriots are going to have to choose between their leader and the founding fathers and the documents they wrote up. And we're going to see which one wins.
Well,
black folks just along for the ride. This don't concern us. I mean, it does, but we ain't got no say. This is just watching white folks fight.
Right.
That's really what politics is.
Well,
right
it looks
now.
like the Supreme Court, and listen to Clarence Thomas, like anything that's been written can be challenged. It just seems like anything that it's not, he's saying it's not law.
So
it's not the gospel.
Nothing is gospel was in the.
It's like, oh my God.
So then if Clarence Thomas say nothing is gospel, and he can go, well, we can go back and look at any decision. I thought Supreme meant lad, that's it. That's it done, boom. We ain't never talking about this again, right? So if they can undo Supreme Court rulings, at what point can they go, you know what, maybe we need to redo some of these amendments?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, that's coming.
It's all stress testing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything right now is stress testing.
And there's really nothing you can do about it because they got a 6'3".
It's like when you date a girl and then you trying to see how dumb she is and see what you can get away with. Mm-hmm. Okay, you ain't gonna go with me on that one. Okay. You treat all your women good. Okay, that's fine. My bad. My bad.
Nah,
you know what you do. I'm gonna not call her for 2 days and see if she get mad. And if she don't trip over you not calling for 2 days, you know you got a 2-day window.
Right.
Sorry, I'm talking too much. My bad. I'm sorry about that.
Where are you on National Guard in the city? Where are you on the National Guard with the?
What? Why would anybody be for that?
Look,
where are you on wasting niggas' time?
But you know, look. DC, they say, man, DC is the safest it's ever been. I ain't getting carjacked.
Did you see the footage in Chicago of the brother on the bike just riding past the National Guard? They walking down Miracle, I think it's called Miracle Mile, Golden Mile, whatever it is, down the downtown, the nicest part.
Yes.
Fuck crime is down here. But you won't go to South Shore with that nonsense, will you?
No.
You're not. And so, like, you're not gonna go MLK and 55th with it, are you? You're not. So stop acting like this is some big ass theater, man. I feel bad for the National Guard soldiers, bro.
Right.
Cause like people get mad at the Guard like they the police. I'm in the National Guard. You signed up 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year to fix a tank and get some college education. Man, I don't want to be here either.
Yeah.
And the problem is that the National Guard dress in the same camo as the SWAT and the police.
Right.
So we're just as mad at them as that, because they are being used as.
So you believe this is political theater?
Absolutely. And I do not like the fact that people who have taken the oath to die for this country are being told to walk past a fucking lids on Michigan Avenue to make sure nobody's stealing fitted caps. Because that's what's happening in Chicago right now. And I think that using our military for that purpose, it's backwards, it's dumb, it's stupid. All of the ICE stuff is backwards and dumb and stupid, just in general. But the idea of having that presence, it should also tell you just how easy it is to get the public opinion of people. Because, yeah, DC's the safest it's ever been. But you know what else make people safe? Parks, and sports, literacy programs.
Jobs.
Yes. And you know what that stuff needs? Money. So the same money you use to pay a whole platoon, you could have done more literacy with the second and third graders. You get kids. There's statistics. My ministry is literacy, youth literacy, and sports.
Right.
Because in Birmingham, those are the two things that have really helped to turn around some of the crime in the city. You get kids reading on grade level by the third grade, they're less likely to be hungry or homeless. They're less likely to end up in jail. So you want to stop crime, start way down there. So don't tell me that this is fighting crime. Okay, cool, but is this the only way to fight crime? It's silly and it's nonsensical, man. And it's theater and it's inviting open government harassment to the point where it potentially becomes normalized.
Right.
And that's not good. You know, they talking about the Guard in Portland. They talking about the Guard and National Guard going on tour. Like, these are regular folks.
Are they still in LA?
Now, I don't know, because they never stay with the story long enough. Right. They show you the Guard there. They never show you them leaving.
Right.
And that might be an indictment on the media, but I don't agree with, like, the short answer is I think it's stupid to deploy soldiers.
Your military to police your own citizens.
To police your own citizens.
I'm interested to hear what you have. How we are I guess our GDP is through the yin yang. Why do we have the mass shootings that no other country has? Why?
Because we don't have the mental health care. All these other countries we be comparing ourselves to got jobs and got some health care and less shit for citizens to stress and worry about. They also don't have nearly the degree of conspiracy theorists and people dealing with all types of mental health issues and isolation, which in and of itself, even the most sane person can be broken down if they're isolated long enough. And that's what COVID did. That's what a lot of remote work did, which, by the way, that's like one of the few things that Trump and Elon was talking about. I was like, all right, I give you that one. Get your ass back to work.
Why they don't want to go back to work?
Because, man, for a lot of people, your office is the only place you see people.
Yes.
You at home by yourself, and then you work at a computer by yourself, then you get fired over Zoom, and then you come to the grocery store and shoot me. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I ain't do nothing to Doug, the one fired you. Go to the building.
And then how you call
Shoot Doug.
Roy, how you call
Shoot the people that you work with. Stop. There's a lot of mass shootings because they can't get to the people they want to kill. It's some good cognac.
Why? Let me ask you this. How do you call in sick to work and you work from home?
In the bed right there, man. You got to.
Roy, you can't get nobody sick but yourself.
Nah, but still.
You wake up in your pajama,
I'm not optimum. I'm not performing at my optimum. But I really do think that America has a unique set of circumstances where there are a million different ways your life could be shit in this country, and there are a million different solutions that are not functional. And you can at some point have a degree of hopelessness, and taking a gun and killing strangers might be your only way of, as you believe, sensibly trying to, alleviate that pain or to be seen. That's the real crazy thing about shootings now, is that we don't even righteously be naming the shooters no more. Like, it used to be a time, and it sounds like a joke, but I'm not. Like, there used to be a time where if you shot a bunch of people, they would say your name, they would read your manifesto, and it would be news for multiple days. It could be a shooting at noon that don't make the 6 o'clock news. It could be a shooting at 6 that don't make the 10 p.m. news. Because we don't care. So the idea
of become that desensitized?
Absolutely. Even in murdering people, you're still an unknown. Because it's such a norm. And I think that comparing America to other countries is one of the most backwards. There's no other country like America's 50 fucking countries all connected.
So we do have a lot of different.
Man, in Switzerland, Switzerland the size of Delaware. Shut the fuck up. It's not the same.
And they're probably like 95% Swiss.
Yeah, and they all ride bikes, so that helps your health and your mental health.
Right.
Like, you can't get people to ride city buses in most cities that have decent transportation, because I want my car. So they're just more stressors, and there's less solutions in this country. And I think that's why mental health is so problematic. And it's not just mass shootings. I mean, a lot of domestic violence in this country and violence against women. It's all rooted in a lot of the same causations, And so a lot of the crime is rooted in that. And I think that's a big reason why crime here is so different. That's why we have more people in prison than any other place on earth. More people on probation than any other place on earth. With probation set up, I think with 2 million in the prisons, 4, maybe 5 million people on papers. And probation don't mean you free. It's set up.
One thing we got you.
And I say that as somebody that did 3 years of federal probation. Like, that's not It is not set up in any shape, form, of way to encourage you or to make you better. I'm here because we just ain't figured out how to put you in there.
Right.
But I'm gonna watch your ass, and the moment you give me a chance,
I'm
gonna put you in there.
I'll tell you what, this is what I'm gonna do then. I'm gonna make you president in 28. You're gonna be the president.
Everybody out of prison but murderers, rapists, child molesters. Okay, get back to me. But nonviolent prison, no.
So the weed, you open the doors for them.
Absolutely. I'd legalize cocaine.
Damn.
Who's it killed? I mean, you got the fentanyl in it, but that ain't, okay, you caught a bad batch. I'm sorry.
Damn, Roy.
If we're talking about putting people in jail, bro, there was a story we tried to do on The Daily Show that didn't get done, but there were owners of private prisons who were suing the states they are contracted to imprison people in because they don't have enough prisoners because the state got lax on some of their laws and decided to be more lenient on incarceration. So you have a state government that goes, all right, we ain't gonna put as many people in prison. But the private company running the prison go, nah, motherfucker, you promised us 80% capacity at all times. We at 50% capacity. Go catch some niggas and bring them and or reimburse me for the people that are not in here. And the state can't afford to do it. So they locked up in court right now.
Damn.
Almost everybody in this country, you're a commodity to someone else. And, you know, if you're making me president, the first thing I'm changing is incarceration. I got very lucky, bro. I had a probation officer that actually cared about how my life ended up. Couple that being at FAMU and the faculty and the staff. So my pops used to teach at FAMU, my mama FAMU, my auntie FAMU.
Okay.
So it was enough folks in the faculty like, all right, we're gonna bring you close and hold you close and make sure you don't slip up again and get expelled. But I think that the idea of recidivism in this country is pretty non-existent. It's all setting you up, got your stuff. So my last year of probation, I stole credit cards when I was in college. I know you're thinking cocaine trafficking.
Nah. Normally at college kids, credit cards or phone cards. You remember they used to do the phone card?
MCI 1-800-COLLECT, down the center. You know why I didn't do that? Because I thought phones was traceable and they were recording the calls and they'd do a voice match and catch me. So I knew people who was running the shit. So I had a work study in the campus post office. I steal credit cards at the post office.
Damn.
Take them to the mall, buy shit, sell it on campus for half price. I get caught, and this is to my point about recidivism, right? So it's too late, I can say it's enough statute of limitations. So when you're on federal probation, you're not supposed to leave the state, ever. You leave the state for a birth of a child or the death of they got like a family tree of here the dead people you can go bury. Mom, grandma. Yeah, exactly. My cousin, nah. Stay your ass in Florida. My first 2 years of stand-up, my PO was like, if you come back that night, you can go anywhere you want. So I could get away as far as Atlanta and get back and get a little travel permit for that type of stuff. And then my last year, I was given, this is year 3, same year. I started doing stand-up after I got arrested because of depressed or whatever. And so that third year, I graduate college and I want to move back to Birmingham. And he goes, well, if you move to Birmingham, you got to transfer your supervision to the Birmingham Federal District. You can't stay in the Florida Federal District. Now, mind you, at this point, my PO knows me. We got good rapport. I got a job. I'm wearing a Golden Corral. Everything's straight. I'm traveling with anywhere within 8 hours of Tallahassee. I'm coming back, you know, every 2-3 days. You get a travel permit for up to 9 days at that time. I go, cool, well, I want to move home because I'm done in Tallahassee.
Right.
I call the Birmingham division to get my probation transferred, and I'm explaining to the woman what I am, what I do, blah, blah, blah. Here's how we've been doing things in Tallahassee. Sir, I don't give a fuck what's been going on down there. You report here and you transfer here, you ain't going nowhere but Jefferson County. I'm like, fuck, I can't even go to Tuscaloosa? And she was like, no, you can't. It wouldn't give me a reason. I got 2 years of paperwork that say I'm doing the right thing.
I'm doing everything right.
Pour into me. Pour into these people. You treat people in this country who've made a mistake like they're irredeemable, so they start acting that way.
Right.
But if you pour into them, you might just get a couple of decent folks out of it, and recidivism might actually work. I had to stay in Tallahassee another year, bro. I start Ricky Smiley that same year. Ricky leaves the radio station in Birmingham. Ricky's like my comedy OG. We both from Birmingham.
Okay.
And Ricky was the first person from the crib to make it in any capacity. So you saw Ricky and you go, all right, I can do it. Because he wasn't like Bo Jackson or Charles Barkley or, Arsenio Hall's from around the way. Like, those people were just such God status.
Right.
You ain't gonna be Bo. But, oh, fuck, Ricky, maybe I get the internship at 95.7 in Birmingham while I'm still under the supervised probation in Florida. Which means every 9 days I have to drive from Birmingham back to Tallahassee.
Damn.
To run my piss, to verify residence, to do all my regular check-ins. So essentially, my first year in Birmingham was just a year-long visitation permit from Florida, because the Birmingham district would not give me any flex whatsoever. So when I say I'm lucky, man, I really do feel that. I remember, I feel like there's parts of our court system that they don't show. They show you cop catching criminal. They show you courtroom TV show. There never been anything on that I'd ever seen about probation officers. That's why I was trying to do that little comedy sitcom about probation officers, because it really is social work to a degree, And it's a lot of POs that for no reason will violate people who don't deserve to be violated. And then at the end of the day, probation is even more dangerous because it's your word against a single person who may just have a grudge against you today. And they can go, he was late to work. He ain't serious about employment, Your Honor. I would recommend that they go back to be locked up. And then you go on for whatever the rest of your sentence was supposed to be.
Just like that.
They don't show that part of recidivism in this country. And it's something that I think would help to change the public perception of criminality and the idea of making a mistake and then you redeeming yourself and you do it. That's why I talk about it out in the open anyway.
Right.
Because cats need to know, your mistake ain't your destination. That's a stop. And I wish more people would show that and talk about that, but they don't. You try to make everybody out to be this irredeemable character, and that's how society starts treating you after a while. But I don't know, man. I was really, really blessed, man. I was really blessed because my pops died when I was 16, and I just started getting guidance from just random guardian. My book, I call it The Man of Many Fathers, because it just really was random people that just popped in. Yeah. But I wasn't seeking that out. It happened.
You have your comedy. You're one of the few. And Chappelle, Rock, rest his soul, Paul Mooney, Carlin, with these could blend politics and comedy. and make it a smooth, seamless transition. Chappelle is unbelievable at it. Rock is unbelievable at it. Mooney and Carlin is unbelievable. You have that gift. Did that aspect of comedy, did it choose you or you chose it?
Ooh, I think it chose me.
Because everybody can't blend that. Everybody can't tie that in a nice bow like that, Roy.
I opened for Dick Gregory.
Dick, I forgot about him.
I don't know, man. It was a while ago. It was at one of the bridge crossing jubilees in Selma, for Bloody Sunday Memorial. And I just sat on the dais and just watched him just oscillate between pain and funny. And he kept them distinctly separated until the end. And I know I'll never be able to do that, partly because of the era
which he came up in.
His scars are different from mine. I ain't got no scars compared to Dick Gregory's scars. So the reservoir of pain from which he was able to mine from and pull from is deeper, is more rich. But, I came up, shadowing my pops. My pops, he was a civil rights journalist. And so my dad in the 40s and in the 50s, he was pretty much any radio station he got hired at, he was the first black. And he gets to Chicago and he co-founds with a couple other gentlemen the National Black Network, which at its time was the first black syndicated national news service. A collective of black reporters all pooling their stories together and then sending them out on the wire to other radio stations, to other black radio stations to air, so that there could be some sort of cohesive message and sense of community about stories that were relevant to black people. Soweto, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Vietnam, anything pretty much from South Africa and riots in the 50s to about Rodney King. My pops covered it.
Wow.
He was there with a tape recorder, covered it, did call-in shows, community awareness shows. And so when I was a child, I would ride with my pops to the radio stations in the morning. So my parents didn't get back together until I was in the 3rd grade. So I got sent to Birmingham every summer. Before that, me and my mom were still living in Memphis. We weren't even in Birmingham yet. And every summer, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd, I'm with my pops all summer, and I'm just shadowing him to speaking engagements. And he's interviewing Jesse Jackson and Farrakhan, just sitting and breaking bread with all of these, deeply rich political people and white folks too. He sat down with the old George, Daddy Bush, way back in the day. He interviewed them all. And so I remember when I was 15, I got a learner's permit and I used to drive my pops down to Montgomery. He had a talk show at Alabama State.
Okay.
And so he would do a Saturday morning call-in show at Alabama State. And I would just sit in the cut. I'm on the Game Boy, and you think you're not absorbing this shit. But he's just taking call after call from the community and offering solutions, offering a pulpit for people to voice their grievances, allow black people to feel heard and seen. And I get to college and I'm like, man, I want to be Stuart Scott. I want to talk about this heavy shit.
Right.
Because that's all I came up in.
Right.
And then on top of that, you live in Birmingham, everything is black. It's a 75% black city. School was every school I went to was predominantly black. I went to the black-owned Boys and Girls Club. I went to the black church, black boys, everything black. Then go to black-ass FAMU, everything black.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I just want to analyze the world. But once I hit my 30s, man, and then when I had my son, switch flip. I don't know what happened, but you start looking at the world like, oh, okay.
Through a different lens.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to remember, man, my comedy, when I first started, I was 19. I ain't had shit to talk about. I was talking about book buyback and your roommate eating your food and marching band jokes. Nobody, that was my wheelhouse. That's right. That was the easiest thing. You write what you know. And then as you get older and you start taking a longer look.
You have different experiences.
And then somehow I essentially became my dad. This is how
You tried to avoid it, but you couldn't help it.
Can't. This is how, like, entrenched, and I've told the story before, but I'll tell it to you because I'm sure you don't know it. Like, when I tell you my pops was, like, entrenched in bettering black people, that's all he was dedicated to. That's all that mattered to him. One of the reporters he hired at WVON in Chicago was a dude named Don Cornelius. And so Don was a police officer, and he pulls my pops over, and my pops trying to get out the ticket go, "You got a nice voice." Which I don't know if, that's not how I would get out a ticket. That's all I'm gonna say. He gives Don his card. Don hit him back a year later, and Don started working at the radio station as a reporter, and that became Don Cornelius's entry into the world of media. Now, at some point in the midst of all of that, Don Cornelius does his homework on television, and Dick Clark, and he comes back to my pops and a couple of folks and goes, "Yo, give me a couple thousand, give me some money. I'm gonna shoot a pilot for a show that I think could be dope. I'm gonna call it Soul Train.
The hip strip in America.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Dick Clark got American Bandstand. Why can't we have black people dancing?" So my pops was one of the people that gave Don Cornelius the front money,
seed money for
to shoot Soul Train. Don Cornelius goes, shoots Soul Train pilot, can't sell that. Nobody will buy it, nobody will air it, he can't put no ads on it, so he ain't got his money to pay people back. My pops comes to Don, and he goes, "Hey man, it's been a minute. When the I get my money back?"
Right.
And Don goes, "Well, I tell you what, instead of giving you your money back, why don't I make you one of the producing partners in Soul Train? I think this could go a long way, Roy, and I think it's gonna be a good investment, and I think it's gonna be something that really changes the culture." To which my father replied, "Motherfucker, don't nobody wanna watch a dance for an hour? Give me my fucking cash." Don Cornelius.
Broke them off. But if your dad had took the, you wouldn't. But see, then if he'd took the money, Roy, you wouldn't be Roy now.
I understand that, but I tell that story to prove the point of just how focused my father was on Black America. He grew up Atlanta, Georgia in the 1930s. My grandfather, who I never met, got snatched up when my dad was 4, never came home again. So you know what that is. Mm-hmm. Moved to Chicago with his mama, no head of household, no male head of household ever again in his life. So you grow up in the streets like that with a single mom, and then you see every single atrocity that you can name. Your friends murdered, assassinated, people that you broke bread with, people that you covered in the 60s. One of the most trying decades for black folks.
The heart of the civil rights.
And then a motherfucker come to you and go, "Hey, what if black people be dancing?" You be like, "Get the out my face. You don't understand what's happening out here." But the truth of the matter is that Soul Train was right on time because black people needed a release. We deserve that. Mm-hmm. So, but my pops couldn't see the vision, man. He couldn't see it because he was just so entrenched in the problems.
Your comedy and going back and studying, you said something very interesting, and I never even thought of it until you said it. You said nobody gave a damn about the vice president until a woman got the job.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the vice president, who really is a figurehead, all she does is break the tie. If there's a 50-50 tie in the Senate, she'll break it. But that's
show up at a middle school waiting for the kids.
That's really their only job.
Yeah.
But now I've never seen a vice president get as much criticism. President Biden is the president. And it seems like everything that he got wrong, it was her fault. And she had to take the brunt of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a better question for a black woman, but the ones I've talked to have been like, "That's what we've been trying to tell you." I don't think Kamala got a fair deal. And she talks about that a little bit in her book. I haven't finished it. Is it 107 Days? Mm-hmm. And she breaks down the whole run of what happened. You know, like, I don't even think we talked about a vice president. Who's the boy that shot the one in the face? Cheney. Mm-hmm. Dick Cheney shot somebody in the face. We were like, all right, we got to talk about him. Dan Quayle couldn't spell a word back in the 80s. Like, all right, we got to talk about him. But, no, I don't think that Kamala Harris I don't think she got a fair deal in her election run. Whether you love her or not, whether you voted for her or not, the idea of, hey, motherfucker, here's something real quick. Y'all gave her the ball on her own 2-yard line with no timeouts.
Pull a John Elway. Go down the field and win the game in the drive in 1986.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when you don't, we go, you terrible. It's all your fault. Ain't no wonder she been laying low.
Yeah.
All this time.
Damn.
Yeah.
The Black said, well, when President Trump, his first term in office, man, the money was flowing. We got them stimmies. Everybody, the unemployment was down. Hey, man,
that jig is up.
Hey, man, we was doing.
Unless you flipping Bitcoin with them, you ain't making no money with Trump right now.
But that's what they said. They said they did so much better under President Trump than they did President Biden.
Just an average black voter.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I could go with that. Like, I understand that. Like, that just goes back to what I was talking about earlier, man. Politics is personal. Mm-hmm. I give about the world for if I'm hurting. But if somebody broke bread with me when I was down, I ain't gonna never forget that. Think about when you was down and who was there for you and who gave you $1 or who gave you a bite of their burger, split the pizza with you.
Right.
There's an undying loyalty to people like that extends well beyond politics, especially with black folks, because most people don't fucking help us. So I could get why Trump giving you a stimmy.
But it was Congress, the Democratic Congress, that passed out those.
Okay,
stimmies.
I ain't got time for them facts. I ain't got time for them facts. You talking to me about facts? Trump name on the check, that's enough for me.
That's enough for you, huh?
But that goes back to the idea of most people don't want to know truth and facts and information. So if you can figure out a way to attach yourself to the lie and they buy it, you won.
Yes.
We got it, like, politics is getting to a place where I feel like liberals are constantly trying to, well, no, that's not what it was. That's not what it was really. Actually, it was there's no effective way to deliver a well, actually. You just got to tell your lie. Make your lie bigger than their lie, because that's what's selling right now. But that's not ethical. And I think
damn ethical.
And I think that a lot of people still believe that there is a way to win ethically. And I think that if you can win unethically, then govern ethically, then maybe there's a way to run that back. But the idea, you're not gonna get black folks or poor white people to understand, well, actually, Congress, if you understand the disbursement of checks and how things are actually allocated. All I know is that I was broke and somebody in government gave me that money, and the president is considered the head of government, therefore the president gets credit. Period. I don't care that Trump had his signature added to those checks. And that's the truth.
It is absolutely.
But you're trying to permeate people with truth who don't have the time or the patience or the desire most of the time.
Correct.
We're smart people. Mm-hmm. We're very smart people. I'm not gonna call them dumb. I'm just impatient. And you starving and you hurting. And so you figure out ways to sell a lie. This administration has done a brilliant, like they've shown you the blueprint of how to get people to believe blindly. Folks saying, go Trump, as they getting loaded into the ICE van. Mm-hmm. What kind of, that's a level of dedication.
3 and 4 generations of farmers are starting to lose their farms. They're going to go belly up because nobody's buying their soybean. Nobody is buying their wheat. Nobody is buying their products. And they're about to lose because they can't pay for that farm equipment. They can't pay for that fertilizer, and they have all those crops.
Yeah.
They can't sell.
I think that I will say this: if I think that both sides stand to gain more of a political advantage by activating passive voters, but you're definitely not going to flip anybody without empathy. And I think that what we've seen right now in this country over the last year or two, there is no empathy from liberals to Republicans. It's very much around and find out you got what you deserve. Don't call black women. Okay, cool. But then the plan, if that's the play, then the plan needs to be how do you activate all the other people who don't believe that the party doesn't have a plan? And I think that's the part that's the solution that nobody's presented. You can't keep writing letters and reprimanding the president. And vice versa. You're not going to get sympathy from Republicans to liberals.
No.
I mean, D.L. Hughley said it best when he was talking about how there was no sympathy. The way the George Floyd jokes flew in comparison to the way that people were telling jokes about Charlie Kirk. Well, you're never going to get those people.
Right.
You're never going to get the empathy.
Or Trayvon Martin. People had the Trayvon Martin costume. They had the Skittles and they had the stuff, and it was funny.
Correct. And so with everything that happened with Charlie Kirk, the expectation of empathy from liberals from that side, it's an unrealistic expectation. You may want the empathy, but there are a lot of people who still forever are going to feel some kind of way. And I think that a lot of those feelings people are going to carry to their graves. And I don't know if there's a policy that any Democrat could flip that's going to flip a moderate Republican without losing some liberals.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more morals on the Democratic side. And so when you've got morals and you need to let go of some of your morals to reel in some of the Republicans, I think you stand to lose more, Democrats. So I don't know. It's a rock and a hard place.
Where are you on protesting?
I'd go to Canada, but I'm a felon. They be tripping. Every time I go to Canada, I got to fill out a gang of paperwork and promise I ain't going to steal nothing.
Man, you still on paper?
No, but Canada don't care. Like, it's a lot of countries. When they find out you did dirt in America, they think that you like the master criminal. They think you that French from Netflix. What Lupin? I forget the brothers. I try to use actors' real names because then that's how black people just call you that forever.
Yeah.
But yeah. What do I feel on protest?
Yes. Because you see how, I think it was Pastor Jamal Bryant, he asked, look here, since Target is getting rid of that DEI, don't worry about it. Let's not go to their thing. And it's done, it's killed their stock.
Yeah.
So there's still power in the protest.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still power in voting with your dollars.
Yes.
All of this is a form of protest. It's all fiscal. That's why any corporation, like if you look at what Target did during George Floyd, and it's like, oh, well, we will have the programs and the initiatives, and we will hire blacks, and we will study why we are racist, and we will read Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, we'll read your book. Tell me why I'm a racist cracker, Ibram X. Kendi. And it wasn't just Target. All of these companies made all of these promises. And we gonna do the thing. And then an administration came in and said, we gonna f up your cash if you don't stop fucking with them niggas. And then it's a business decision. And it always was.
Yes.
Because 4 or 5 years ago, it was, if you don't show us that you don't care about black people in DE&I, we gonna f up your cash. Mm-hmm. And now all these companies, man, they getting stuck up from both sides. Mm-hmm. That's what ABC and Disney dealing with the Kimmel fiasco.
How do we play the middle?
Yeah. If you better let go of Jimmy Kimmel or we gonna mess up your merger. Paramount CBS. Oh, y'all aired a clip of me kind of edited but unedited. All right, well, watch this. You're gonna pull that 60 Minutes report and you're gonna give me $16 million or I'm not gonna let your merger go through. And I'm gonna f up your cash.
Yeah.
It's all a heist, bro. And I think the failure we have made as black people is thinking that corporations have humanity.
Yeah, but I was about to say morals. Yeah.
You can manipulate them.
Yes.
And you can have the upper hand and you can gain leverage and you can get what you want and it can help advance society and make the world a better place. But just know that the only reason they probably did it was because you had the gun to their head. Mm-hmm. It's not a coincidence when you look at the increase, the depth of DE&I and the increase of black women unemployment in this country. Because it's not just necessarily black women that were hired to run whatever DEI initiative for a company, but a lot of those black women were hired under the guise of this program. Even though you were perfectly qualified,
Yes.
we put your hire under this umbrella with this grant and paid you with this initiative instead of just leaving it. Like, I think that part of it is, I think protests are effective. I just don't think that we should continue to assume companies to be as quick to kowtow. They're not. Protesting was easier back in the day. Like we talk about sit-ins and all of that shit. That's because it was just Jimmy's Diner.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can shut down Jimmy, but to effectively protest something now?
Yeah, they got 1,500, 3,000 stores.
Yeah, and you connected a million. That's why I knew white folks they was gonna fold on that Bud Light protest. They were like, when Bud Light had the trans actress, and they were all, we ain't drinking Bud Light. And they were shooting the cans and shit. You know how many different liquor brands are run by Anheuser-Busch?
And Bill.
It's like 20 or so brands. Are you really that dedicated? You're not going for. Did you get the speaking of protests? Did you get the George Zimmerman paper protest email when that happened?
I don't have email, so no, I wouldn't have.
What the fuck?
I don't have email.
Okay,
Jordan has email. My sister has email, so they'll send it to me in a text.
That's fair. Like Bill Murray. You know, Bill Murray just got a phone with an answering machine and he checks it every day.
Okay.
And that's how he gets gigs. No, there was an email. I don't know if this was true, but I got this email. It was supposedly a paper company was funding George Zimmerman's defense fund at the time. And we got an email and it said, boycott this paper company. And it was like 30 different brands of paper and picnic and plates and cups and fork. I don't buy none of this shit. Don't buy none. It was like 20 different toilet tissues. And I wanted to reply to the email, well, how am I going to wipe my ass? Like,
what am I eating out of my hands?
Well, you got to give me alternative options.
Right.
I say that to say the idea of protesting is something where you have to be much more steadfast than what I think our ancestors had to be, because there's also a serious degree of convenience with a store like Target. I live 3 blocks from a Target in New York City, and I walk past it, and it's like, fuck, I know it's in there.
Yeah. I need that shower gel.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that protesting it's still effective, but I do think that there is a degree of, I don't want to say a lack of unity across our race,
right,
but there's definitely people who are just gonna be, I'm not with that, I ain't doing that.
Right.
People forget the Montgomery bus boycott was a year. Like, it was a long time. Like, it wasn't 3 weeks and then the white folks folded. Like, it was carpools and it was different.
And the sanitation boycott that they had down there.
Yeah. Same game.
People actually think it was like it was a long period of time.
Well, that's also because a lot of boycotts now are top of the news cycle and then they fall off and nobody else is talking about it after that. But, you hope Target does the right thing,
right,
but there's a lot of companies that have backpedaled.
Let's get to your career. Dating scene now. Because you was once married. We're going to talk about your.
We weren't married, but we moved like we were.
Oh, you weren't officially?
No. But we were solid.
Right.
So we moved like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the dating scene now for Roy Wood Jr. now?
I work, bro. I've been single.
So in other words, so that's what you tell them. I work now. Because they say, well, if you wanted to find time, you could find time. You find time for your son.
That's my son.
You know is that what they tell you?
Yeah. I've been blessed. I'm blessed now with the eyesight to know when it is a good woman.
Okay.
And I've met one or two, but I also have enough sense to know of what it is I'm trying to build right now.
Right.
And I think what I underestimated in being single again was the idea of also quitting my job at the same time. I quit Daily Show around the same time.
Yes.
And I didn't know what the I was going to do next. And I still have a family to support. Together or not, we remain a family.
Right.
We remain a unit. You remain the most important person in my ecosystem because you're helping me raise the boy. Mm-hmm. So there's certain things that have to be provided for. So yeah, I'm going to work right now. And back to what you were talking about at the top of this, man, about the flowers. Mm-hmm. I can't stop to smell them because I got to keep going. If I stop, the wheels come off of all of this.
Right.
And I don't know if that's a pressure that men put on themselves unnecessarily, but it don't change the truth.
It is. Because you feel you have a sense of responsibility.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
People are counting on you. Yeah, absolutely is.
So I need to be in a space where I can never again be waiting on someone else to choose me, which is what happened at the Daily Show.
Yes.
So to get in that space requires a level of focus and work as the industry that I love starts to change and crumble. Oh, I'm going to do Daily Show, and then I'm going to get me a late night show. Now, no more you ain't. Late night show where? This is the last licks.
Yep.
Jimmy Fallon, Kimmel, them the last licks.
That's it.
Ain't nobody else coming in and doing, I don't know what's going to be next, but it ain't going to be that. Land CNN, cool. Write a book, cool. Sell 2 TV shows, write a movie, cool. You just start putting pots on the stove, pots on the stove.
How many irons can you have in the fire?
I don't know, but I can tell you that figuring out taking one off to put in a relationship and not being sure if that's going to work, and knowing that if any of these other pots fail, bigger ecosystem that I have a higher responsibility to first suffers. Son will never suffer. My son, he's my only child. So you're going to be straight. Now, I can't do this alone, but you know, it's hard when you're grinding, man, and you're trying to figure out relationships because you almost need someone to just merge in with you in traffic. This idea of stop and courtship, and it's
a merger, huh?
I've never dated under this degree of industry pressure before. And I don't know how to handle it because I don't have anything to recreate. Last time, like when I met my son's mother, I was sitcom, it just got canceled. I'm on ESPN for free, 2 days a week, praying that gig lead me to get another college gig. Shout out to Sports Nation and Jamel Hill, his and hers. Bomani Jones used to put me, like, just praying one of them 3 p.m. ESPN shows
hit and give you something else. How much of how your father was to you has rubbed up on you to how you are to your son?
Not a lot. Maybe how I am to women. Maybe some of that. So for perspective, I'm my mom's only child. I'm the 9th of 11 kids.
So your dad had?
A lot.
Yeah.
A fucking.
So is that what caused the separation between your dad and your mom?
To a degree, yeah, a little bit. I got 2 younger halves. You do the math. But I think how my father carried himself professionally was what rubbed off on me. I care about Black people. I use humor to try and tell our stories and to humanize our experiences, to educate people who wouldn't have otherwise paid attention to what we were going through. Period, full stop.
Yep.
And if you look at the body of work that I've built over the last decade, it would support that thesis. Where it comes to parenting, my pops wasn't around a lot because he was out working or he was with his other family. You know, one of the toughest things I had to, you know, if you bring it back to the breakup, right? You start thinking about what your responsibility is to your child and how you plan to build him up. What values am I going to give him?
Okay.
And one of those things has to be how he treats women. Well, he's going to learn that from seeing how I treat women or how people treat his mother. Whatever that dynamic is, I'm oblivious to it. So I can only be concerned with
your side of it.
Correct, with my side of the equation. And the more I looked at love and the more I looked at how to show my son love, my parents didn't sleep in the same room. Truth of the matter is, we in Memphis, I'm wilding out, there's no man in the house. My mom reconciled with my pops to make sure there was somebody in the house to knock my ass out when I started jumping bad. In exchange, free rent, take the money you save, put yourself through law school so you can get out of this situation. And that's what my mama did. That's what my mom worked on. That's what her focus was, grad school, degree.
Mm-hmm.
But most nights my pops wasn't home. And so when I started thinking about the life I wanted to construct for my son, and I started thinking about, well, damn, if I'm gonna show him love, where the fuck did I see it? What the fuck, what was my example of love?
You had a roof over your head, you had food on the table.
Yeah, but a lot of men think that's enough. It ain't.
That's how, in the Black community, that's how we grow
Clothes on your back, food in your belly, roof over your head. What the fuck else?
That's love.
I paid a cost to be the boss. That's what my
Fences,
pops.
you remember Denzel
Yeah.
when he told his son that very story?
I lived that. And so the more, when I had my son, the more I reflected on it, the more I realized that the best example of love I had was with my pops and his other woman. It's the best example of love. He loved her. For whatever issues he had with my mom, it wasn't love. But when I really sit and think about how he treated that woman, that's who he was out with.
He brought you around her.
Just be around my younger brothers, yeah.
So so he had how many kids with this other woman?
2. I had 2 younger halves, yeah.
So you had 2, he had 2 with
My
her?
older half siblings, we were never really that close.
Okay.
We're cool now.
Okay.
But in terms of every day seeing them, no. The 2 youngers, I saw them
On the reg.
on a reg.
Okay.
He scooped me up. My pops would scoop me up from soccer practice, go scoop them. We go to Dairy Queen, stuff like that.
Wow.
And so I had to call my 2 younger brothers and talk to them about what was life like. And this is a conversation I've never wanted to have with them, but I gotta have this conversation if I'm gonna be better to my son. Hey man, walk me through what Pops was like at your crib. On the nights he didn't come.
He wasn't with you, your mom. What was
Walk
he
me
like?
through.
Damn.
And they described a man I never met.
So
I don't.
you got an opportunity to see him when he was with your mom. So when they're explaining to you, I mean, he was home, he was at the dinner table, he
Checking
read the stories,
homework, bro.
checking home. What?
Going to their games, bro.
Oh my God.
My pops never did that. And so,
Did man, Roy, that had to hurt.
but you don't unpack it. Imagine being 38 in the delivery room, unpacking that shit in real time while you holding your newborn. Because these are things I've never had to consider. I've never had to consider showing him love because I had no kid. But now I have a kid and I go, well, damn, he needs love. Okay, well, I am him.
I didn't learn it from my pops.
So who did my Aunt JP and Uncle Rick, they love each other real. My aunt, like a couple of but I ain't around them on a regular. My pops is buried next to that one. She died 3 years before my dad. My dad got his and hers
Plots.
Cemetery. And we didn't even know he was being buried next to her until we was walking the casket up the hill. That's love. You can be mad about it, or you can be sad about it, or you can take the game and figure out how to apply that to your child. A woman he came home to every night. So if nothing else, it gives me a blueprint of what I should be looking for and what I should want out of a woman and what I should want within a relationship. Mm-hmm. She loved his funky draws, he loved hers. And that wasn't the case at our crib, and that's just what it was.
Was your mom alive when your father passed? Was your mom still alive?
Yeah. My mom's still alive right now.
So
you have to look at, and I really didn't unpack all of this with my mom, but you have to look at it as I've looked at it. You're in Memphis, you're in law school, or you're in grad school at the time. I'm a latchkey kid, bro. We got there, we almost set the apartment complex on fire in the 3rd grade and almost got evicted. So I'm wild. So you just live with this man and y'all just become roommates. And you become whatever shell of yourself to get through this, knowing that your son at least has the checks and balances. And on the behavior side, it was right. It worked. But like one of the hardest things I have to do, because I follow my 2 younger brothers, like love them to death. I follow them on social. Father's Day, Pop's funeral day, Pop's birthday. I usually don't go on social on those days.
Because they're talking about a man that you never knew.
Never knew. They posting pictures with this man, and these are the old school Polaroids that's got the date at the bottom. I can look at the date of the picture and tell you whether or not the heat was on at our house, because my parents was arguing and Pops had pulled, So the idea that I can even learn what type of father I could be from watching through his lens. He was damaged. You were damaged and you sought comfort through women and sex. And you were superb at your job, top of your game. Correspondence dinner, when I got done, a bunch of black journalists who were there at the correspondence dinner came up to me and were telling me about how my pops their first job was working for my dad. 5, 6 people. People who used to work at National Black Network, which eventually became AURN, American Urban Radio Network. That company exists because of my fucking pops and the other people he co-founded with. And they came up to shake my hand and tell me thank you. And like that was a level of respect that I don't know if I'll ever do anything as valuable as that. So you can be mad at this man or you can learn from it. Because either way, you're still going to be in his shadow.
Yeah.
I didn't go by Roy Wood Jr. till he died because I knew it fucked with him.
So
it was the only thing that I knew just fucked with my dad.
Did you think for a second, Roy?
That was
he gave you his name. He didn't give it to the others.
Give me your time. Your name.
Touché.
Like, but the idea of, I remember I came home in the yearbook, it had Roy Wood. He goes, your name is Roy Wood Jr. And I just didn't want to, I just hoped that people didn't know or would assume that I wasn't related. And then when he died my senior year of high school, and I was like, all right, I'll carry it now. I'll carry the torch.
So you did grow up with some level of resentment towards your father?
A little, but it didn't. It came out after I had my son. Because you have your child, bro, and then you start thinking about everything you're gonna do with your son.
that your father didn't do with you.
And then you realize he never did it with you. And you're like, damn. The one thing he did give me that I did appreciate, he made sure that I knew who he was and what he stood for, and that's through being able to shadow him and be around him. But you're only getting half of a person when they get you at work, when you get your parents at work. Right. But I'm grateful for that. And I try to do that with my son. You know, I don't take him everywhere. He knows I do comedy. He knows I'm on TV in some capacity. His classmates, parents, telephone game gets back to him about, oh, his dad is just the thing. But, you know, I try to give him a degree of space away from all of this. Also because it's politics and it's funky and I just don't want him.
Right.
Be your own, you deserve to be your own, you know, be your own man. But I don't think that resentment gets you anywhere if you have issues with your father. I think you literally have to look at who the man was and just pick the little pieces, get rid of the rest.
You remember when you was a kid, your mama cooked something you really didn't like, and she put stuff in there, you just pick out the pieces? You pick out the stuff that you like out of the dish?
My mama put bell peppers in her tuna, and when I tell you I used to pick them little bell peppers, and she mince them up real.
My grandmother did that with hamburgers. She put onions in the
in the meat. She mixed it in the yeah. But that's why I'm grateful, bro. I'm grateful that I had so many men that God put in my life that poured knowledge or poured game, be it once, be it multiple times. Like that was, I think that's where I really learned how to love. It was like just being in reflection of taking my own experiences out of it. When have I seen a man be kind and soft with a woman? Okay, there. All right, take the note. All right, cool. I need to make sure I feel that with her, and then I can better identify whether this is somebody I should be with. And that helped. It really did. Like, I hate to say it, but having that conversation with my younger brothers, it helped me immensely in being able to love my son.
But let me ask you, when you talk to her, and people say, you know, communication, be honesty, be honest, be transparent. I don't know if you did or you didn't, when you talk to your uncle or you saw people that had been married and that had been in love, does that better help you understand or paint a picture of what you should be looking for in a mate that you could potentially be your wife?
My uncle Derek, he lost his wife, this is in the 80s, drunk driver. He heard the crash from his house and it devastated him. And I remember going to my Aunt Mary's funeral and seeing my uncle cry over the casket. And he had about a 5-10 year stretch after that, because he's also ex-military. You drop in some PTSD in that mix, along with grieving as a widower. He had a rough stretch.
Yes.
I just say that. He had a really rough stretch that he came out of. And seeing what he became without her helped me understand what she was to him. That's love. And I think through those painful moments, you're able to mine something that's beautiful, man. I'm not, we all wish we could have got a better hand with our parents. I don't care what kind of parent you got. You wish they was more this or more that. But, what really helped me was going on Finding Your Roots and learning so much new information about my dad, and the idea that, oh, I get it. You lost your dad. You ain't had no game. Nobody gave you game.
I was about to say.
Then you get a debilitative injury in high school. My pops got hit by a car chasing behind a girl that just broke up with him. Hip replacements the rest of his life. Walk with a limp the rest of his life. How you think that informed his opinion of women? What you think walking with a limp did to his confidence for the rest of his life and how he viewed women? I don't know. There's a lot of questions that are just that will forever be unanswered because most of the people that can answer them from his side are dead.
Because I was going to ask you, because a lot of times we learn how to love through how we were loved. You know, your dad, and I was going to ask you, I said, did you ever ask your dad how was his father to him, your grandfather to him, and so forth and so on. So it would probably give you a better picture of how, but you was like, you know what? I don't know a whole lot about this fatherhood. I just know I want to be a better dad to my son than what my father was.
That's it.
That's it. I don't know how this thing going to shape out, but I do know that.
I'll start with that base level thing. I will be present, and I will, and for the life of my relationship with his mother, I was going, like when I travel, hey, I'm sorry, I got to go. But I would explain why I'm going, where I'm going, what I'm doing. And I still do that to this day. Even when we broke up, sat them down, walked them through, hey, here's what's happening with that. But just so you know, me and her ain't got nothing to do with me and you. Everybody's still good, cool.
Right.
But
that was a lot. That's heavy. You got a newborn, you quit your job, and you just broke up with the mother of your child. That's a lot going on.
Well, he's about 6 or 7 at the time of the breakup, but it's still a lot.
Yes.
And so there is a pressure.
It's changing his life.
There's a pressure of providing that I don't think men talk about enough. And I don't think women necessarily, I don't want to say don't care, but they have their own battles as well. Mm-hmm. They got their own workplace challenges as well. So I understand you got your issues, but I'm over here fighting this fire over here. Good luck with your fire. I think that, like, I remember some nights watching my son sleep when he was younger, and I would be up at night and just be walking around the house, and to that flower moment where it's like, I live in New York City, bro. I live in New York City. I have a solid job. My family is fed. They're sleeping safe. I remember when I came to New York in 1999, and I was here for 3 days, and I could only afford one meal because I needed the rest of the money for tolls to get back to Alabama. Praying that somebody at the comedy club would offer me a wing or a fry so I could eat that day. And now I'm in this city, and I got furniture, I got a job, my picture on phone booths, I got an hour special coming out, and I'm watching my son sleep peacefully with none of the cares that I had. And it lasts for about 20 seconds. And then the next thought is, how the am I going to keep this all together? And that's the impulse that drives me. That's the impulse that gives you everything you read at the top of the show in my intro. And I don't know if that's for better or for worse.
Do you sleep good?
No.
I suffer the same thing because I can't turn my mind off.
I wake up immediately and there's 20 ways this could go wrong.
Yep.
There's 30 ways this other thing could go wrong. But if I can control it and be in charge of it, I realize what I lack is control. I'm a control freak to a degree. Mm-hmm. I need opportunities that
afford you that.
That afford me that. I'm thankful for CNN. But it is a network. Mm-hmm. All TV shows end. Mm-hmm. One day it will. Hopefully, I'll see it coming or I'll have time. Mm-hmm. But in case I don't,
you have something already. You've already got a garden planted and something else is about to sprout.
Let me get this YouTube shit straight for 2026. I already know what I want to do. Get this book right, sell that book, get a script on that. And that way I know my son can continue to sleep comfortably. That drives me. Mm-hmm. And I know some people will consider that unhealthy, but if it's gotten you more successful every year than the year before since 1998.
Doing something right.
Doing something right.
What have you learned about money?
That it's just money. It's not going to make you happy. There's definitely a peace of mind you need to have with it. I'm probably a little reckless, but I think my recklessness comes from stupid shit like Ubering when I could have walked. It's like 8 blocks, and it's like, I don't feel like it. Nigga, come get me.
I'm on the corner.
Yeah, but I don't have a lot of vices in that regard. Like, even with women, it's not like I'm spending a bunch of money on a million dates and going to exotic locations and shit like that. I don't wear jewelry.
Right.
I get nice sneakers every hour
I see.
special.
You got the unions.
Hulu paid for these.
Oh, okay.
Buy these. You crazy? No. When I get an hour special, they allocate money for wardrobe.
Yeah.
I spend it all on the shoe. Ankle up.
You a shoe guy.
Ankle up, I got it. It's already in the closet. I know what I'm gonna wear. With the shoe, you're gonna pay for that. So I don't, my relationship with money is, I would say it's decent. I'm not rich in the least.
Right.
But I'm blessed. And, I am the family member that family members call. Which in a way is
huge responsibility, though.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It is. But I've always wanted that. I was the baby.
Yeah.
And my brother had a serious injury, and so I took on the responsibility. And I remember telling my grandmother on her deathbed that I got it. My sister's here right now, and she had a conversation with me. She was telling, I had this conversation with my grandmother in June. My sister had the very conversation with my grandmother in April. I didn't know about it until she told me. She said, Shannon, Granny, like one of my cousins was in the room. And she asked my grandmother, hey, what's going on? She said, hey, Mary, what's wrong? And my grandmother said, I'm dying. And I don't want to leave y'all. My sister said, Granny, it's okay for you to go. I'm going to be okay. Spanky's going to be okay, which is my brother. Shannon's going to be okay. Shannon's going to make sure Mama's okay. Everything's going to be taken care of. I didn't know, Roy, my sister had this conversation with my grandmother in April. Mm-hmm. I come back along in June. The guy's doing a story because I'm going into the Hall of Fame that August. Mm-hmm. So he's following me around. We go to the old house. We go to the old high school. When we get back to the nursing home, the retirement facility, my grandmother is crying uncontrollably. So I stop the guy and I go in, and she's crying, and I hold her in my arms and I look at her. I said, Granny. I said, so I already knew what it was. I said, Granny, it's okay. I got it. I said, you and Papa, y'all did what y'all was supposed to do. I got Libby, I got Spanky, and I got Mama. Don't even worry about it. A week later, Roy, she was gone. She needed her baby to tell her that he had it. Once I told her, I let her mind be at ease. My sister called me. Mm-hmm. She said, Shannon, she gone. I said, for real, Libby? She said, yep. She told my sister and my mom. Because my sister would go up there every day, feed her, bathe her. That's not a responsibility. My sister did that for 2 years, every single day. We'd go up there, make sure she ate her food, make sure she had her blood, change her clothes, do everything.
Stay on top of them folks. Man.
About 5 o'clock, my grandma said, Libby, you and Alice, y'all go. That's my mom, Mary Alice, named after mom. She said, y'all go home. Man, I can't get no rest with y'all here. She sent them home probably around 5:30. They called my sister at 6.
That was it.
Libby, Miss Mary gone. Man, so to hear you say that the responsibility of your siblings and the family, you're who they call. I know what that's like. I've lived that life for the last 30 years.
My only beef is that, and I understand this because my mom used to think I was asleep, but I could listen to her making the money calls at night. Mm-hmm. Hey girl, it's Joyce. I wouldn't call you if I needed, blah, blah, blah. So I understand the courage it takes to admit you need help.
Mm-hmm.
But nigga, don't wait until the tow truck is in front of your house.
He done got it
You
lifted
knew
up.
you owed on the fucking car for 2 months, nigga, and now the tow truck is outside, and now I'm trying to Venmo a named Keith. And
Yeah.
it's just like, he out here right now. He want to talk to you.
What do you want to talk to me about?
And
he
I-
ain't got my car.
Meanwhile, I'm on the phone with you, and then there's somebody talking to me. Yeah, 3 minutes. We're gonna. The shot is live in 3 minutes. Come on back over to the set. I'm at work, and I'm like literally Venmo. There's times on the Daily Show where I've just sent a Venmo and put, well, yes, Trevor Noah, I'll tell you what's going on with the Republicans. Like, that part of it I don't like, but I understand where the hesitancy comes from. I wish, man, I'd have had that like luxury of that like last conversation. Because prostate cancer is what took my pops.
Mm-hmm.
And my pops, when you're 16, you don't even know what you're supposed to be asking, bro. And cancer, like the last year of cancer, is just such a nasty, terrible thing. My pops became very mean, like very, just angry.
Right.
Which I just wrote out. I didn't take offense to it. I didn't do shit to you today. You just snapping. All right. You in pain, I guess. Whatever. I remember the last conversation I had with my dad. I remember we watched Jeopardy. That was always, we'd watch Jeopardy.
Yeah.
My pops would watch local news because he was mentoring a lot of the anchors on the local affiliates. So he would watch everybody's anchoring and then call them and give them critiques or whatever. Yeah, give them feedback. At the feedback, we watched Jeopardy. And we're watching Jeopardy, and I make him a baked potato, and I give it to him. He takes a nibble. After about an hour, he give it back. He ain't really touched it. Appetite gone. And he looks at it. He looks at me. He goes, "I did all right, didn't I?" And I look at the baked potato. Oh, yeah, you did all right. I'm lying, but all right. Next day, I come home. He's in hospice at my older brother's crib. And so, for the most part, I lived my life after that. I didn't go visit him every day because it's hospice. And a lot of the time in the hospital when I was there, it would be a lot of the other women. So if my mom's was there, and then it's some side chick, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I would go solo, and that became weird. About a month later, he dies. We're at the funeral, and we're walking away from we're leaving the burial. We're going back to the limos or whatever. And my older sister, Brenda, she comes up to me as we're walking down the hill, and she's like, of all my siblings, all my half siblings, she's like the most spiritual and Jesus and God and the scripture says, Daddy loved you. And I know you may not have always felt that, but Daddy loved you. And no matter what, just remember, he did the best he could. And that shit hit me like a Mack truck, bro. Like, he asked me, I did all right. He wasn't asking about the baked potato. He was asking me how he did
with
raising me. I missed the fucking window, bro. Not only did I miss the window, I told him he did all right. Because he probably thought I was talking about how he raised me. I was talking about the baked potato. And so,
had you had that window, the window that he left open, had you knew, what would you have told him?
I don't know, but I wouldn't have let him off the hook like that.
Even in the situation, the condition he was in.
There's a soft way
To let him know
say
he
what
could have
you
done
feel.
better.
But it's not even to criticize. It's more questions than anything. I never thought about that. I said, damn. I never thought about what I would have asked or what I would have said, I don't think I had the wherewithal or the scope of knowledge. Keep in mind, I'm born, my parents are separated. I'm born in New York, my parents are separated within a year. My mom moves to Mississippi. My whole mama side from Clarksdale.
Okay.
So she moved to Memphis to go to school and be close, so she got the babysitter network with her siblings, right? So I grew up never knowing my father other than the dude who come to visit once a month. And I go see him for a month in the summer through third grade. So the idea of a father was just, this nigga's a guest star in me and my mama's sitcom. Me and my mama the star, daddy just a neighbor who come in and wave from time to time. Then when we move in together in Birmingham, y'all don't really sleep. Y'all in the same room. We don't do any family functions other than breakfast. On Sunday breakfast was sacred. But outside of that, you're not home. Everybody work different schedules. He's a morning radio man. He gone before I'm up for school. And by the time I come home from school, he back out at night to do his jazz show and then hit the bars and, socialize, hit the lounges and all, and drink some of it. Like he out there.
Right.
So we never kept the same clock.
Okay.
So I'm not even crossing you in the hallway for you to give me game. Just off the nature of our schedules.
Yes.
So you take something like that and then it becomes, you need to be around more. Because I've learned I tried doing mentorship programs and stuff. I'm not the right person. Literacy, sports, I'll give money to mentor. Because what I found, or at least what I believe, is that male guidance, it's these microscopic moments that happen. It's not a full 3-4 hour day, let's go bowling, let's go, where you might ask something or not. You just have to be around. And then the moment your child shows a window of wanting some knowledge, you jump in. And so the weeks I have my son, I schedule my life differently. We getting that meal. I might go back out in these clubs and tell my jokes tonight, but first set's not gonna be till 9 because I want you in the bed 8:30 and we're gonna talk. Babysitter pull up 8:25, I'm out the door. But the idea of just not being around, as much as I can, I'm trying to fight that, bro. Because I don't want to be a guest star in his fucking sitcom. That's my biggest fear with my son, is that I become the dude that's always gone. Oh, he provided. And then he the one sitting here with you talking about, motherfucker, I won't at the time. So the only way to create that is to work like a psychopath at building something from the ground up for yourself that you control, that is not susceptible to corporate mergers, that's not susceptible to an administration leaning on your supervisors, getting them to fire you. That takes time. So I'm sorry, I can't go on the date you want me to go on with you, or I can't be present in the way you want, because this is paramount right now. It won't always be that way, but that's what is, because I know on the other side of this is growth and freedom, man. And I know I can do that.
You on Better Call Saul, The Last OG, Confess Fletch, Only Murders in the Building, and Space Force. Been a lot of things. I mean, all those different experiences, do you take, when you go on a set, you try to make friends, or you try to, try to gather information? What is Roy Woods Jr. when he goes on a set? What's his mindset?
Ooh. I'm usually chill.
Okay.
I keep my distance.
Really?
I don't know.
Damn, you don't get nobody. You don't get close to nothing, huh?
I don't know Steve Martin like that. Like, I'm happy to be here.
Right.
But I don't want to. I've seen cats get fired for being too chummy. Yeah. Man, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? You looking good? And then they be like, yeah, cut. And then you come back from lunch.
And he ain't there.
Nigga gone. So I'm not finna be that. Steve Martin was real cool, man. Martin Short. I tell you, man, Space Force was probably some of the most fun. There's not enough said about The Daily Show and the fraternity, sorority, whatever that it is after you leave it.
Right.
But those folks look out. They really do. Sam B, Jon Stewart, and Steve Carell and Space Force. Like, they make sure that you're comfortable on set. I just did a joint. It's not out till top of next year. I just did a joint with Jonah Hill and Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves, man, that's a funny ass motherfucker.
Really?
You know, it's a comedy, but it's called Outcome. It'll be out soon.
John Wick, Keanu Reeves, funny?
Hilarious.
Neo, Matrix.
Don't forget he was Bill and Ted, Excellent Adventure. He got the muscle. Like, if he want to be funny, he's not like dude bro funny. Like, he's legit, like, quick. Like, I was like, we was jawing in the scene, straight improv.
Speed, Keanu Reeves.
Yes. Hilarious, sir.
Damn.
Hilarious, man. And so you get around people that respect the craft and respect the fact that you're present, and they give you the freedom to kind of, I don't know how to put it, like, be yourself without penalty. Because Keanu ain't afraid of you stealing his shine or something like that.
Does that happen a lot?
No, but that's a big issue on a lot of comedy sets, is that you'll have one star that is like, yeah, don't do that. Then the writer will come, the star will never tell you. The writer will come up and be like, yeah, don't do that joke. Like, we're going to get that joke to him instead of you. But,
Whoa.
But you're doing great. And action. Yeah.
Damn.
That happens.
They dulling your star.
I guess. I mean, it's your job to come in and just do whatever's asked of you, especially in film. But there's a lot of cats that are not like that, and it's important that people know that about them. Kevin Hart is definitely passes the ball in a scene to make sure you shine. John Hamm passed the ball. I gotta give a shout out to the homie Andre Holland as well. We did Love Brooklyn, and that's like a romantic black, Love Jones. Let me be funny. Let me be myself. I go to work, I go home. I ain't drinking with y'all, because then that's when the cocaine come out. You just be somewhere and it just be cocaine, but it's time to go.
Yeah.
That's where probation helped me. Because them first 3 years of stand-up, because I was on probation, I was like, oh, it's a felony for me to even be in a room with this.
Yeah, the last thing I needed somebody to come up in here, them people to kick that door in, and here I am.
Bro,
but I ain't nothing in my system, but you ain't supposed to be around.
Bro, I spent that first year of probation suspended from college, just working the road. And it was all I had. It was the only thing that I looked forward to. I'm not fucking this up. I ain't really drank. I definitely wanted to be. So those behavioral habits, they just stayed with me. And you can tell who the cocaine people are on set. You know who's snorting. I was like,
so it's easy for you. It's easy because of what you went through early in your career. It's easy for you to say no. It's easy for you to leave the room or not be in that situation or put yourself in that situation because you like, bro, I was on probation and this could have all ended. And now if I be in this bull jive, it still could all end. I'm out of here.
I don't ride in cars with people. I drive or I'll meet you there. I don't know what's in your car. Wow. I don't know how you roll. I don't know what's in here. And you get the wrong cop. It's in the wrong state. It's communal possession. It's our gun.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm good. I'll meet you there. And if you feel some kind of way about it, then I don't need to break bread with you no way. Like, that's just, I don't know. That's how I've always looked at shit. Like, I'm just not going to find myself in a situation where I lose out on an opportunity because you acting a fool.
I get it. You just started a show with Whoopi Goldberg, even though it didn't get picked up a pilot. What is it like working with Whoopi? She doesn't do very much now, but there was a time that Whoopi was, I'm pretty sure she's still Whoopi.
She was great. Whoopi Goldberg is like, so Whoopi, two of the greatest performances I've ever witnessed. Whoopi Goldberg on that sitcom and Solange Knowles' Essence Fest rehearsal. 2017, maybe 2018.
Really?
Whoopi came into with sitcoms, they do rewrites. And we had a table read, which is basically a sit-down performance of the show for all the people who decide whether or not this show gonna get made. And there was about 30 pages of new dialogue from the previous night. They had changed and tweaked stuff. Whoopi came in. Never opened the script. Off book for an hour. I ain't never seen no shit like that before in my life, man. And granted, she comes from theater, so she's had to memorize 3-4 hours of dialogue with the stuff. But for me, the young, happy comedian, I was like, oh my God, this is wild. Like, Whoopi was electric and kind. The premise of the show, it was me and Jermaine Fowler. Jermaine Fowler played my son, my boy from Superior Donuts, and he was the prince in Coming to America too.
Right, okay.
And so Whoopi plays his grandma. And it's about Jermaine living with his grandma. I'm the crazy ain't shit daddy, whatever. And it was a funny ass show, bro. And this goes back to what I'm talking about stuff getting taken away from me. It's for ABC. This is 2015, summer of 2015. It's for ABC. The sitcom is a go. We're gonna make the sitcom. We're gonna make the announcement. But first, we gotta get, this is stories that was told to me. I don't wanna get sued. But before we announce the sitcom, we're gonna lock up Whoopi's contract with The View. She's up for a re-up. We gotta get her money right with The View, because that's the main thing. They were taking so long, ABC, in booking the new co-host with Whoopi, that it took so long to go. We can't negotiate Whoopi's deal until we negotiate the deals of the new co-host. That took so long that the deals on the other actors on the sitcom expired. Sitcom was never greenlit because it took too long to get the main thing negotiated. Because you get signed to do a sitcom, they gotta, you gotta shit or get off the pot in like 2-3 months, because otherwise I need to go and be on another show. I think I'm gonna be on a sitcom with Whoopi Goldberg, and I get a call a month later that the sitcom ain't happening. And that's how this game is. 2 weeks later, I get a call from Neil Brennan saying that Trevor Noah is looking for correspondence when he takes over for Jon Stewart for The Daily Show. And the only reason I end up on The Daily Show is because the Whoopi sitcom didn't work.
So if that had to work, you wouldn't have been able to do The Daily Show.
I'd have never been on The Daily Show.
You see how God worked that out? That's how it was supposed to be.
I mean, that's the game, man. It's just, all of this can be snatched and taken away from you. And 9 times out of 10, it's not even because it's something you did. But if you control it, they can't take this from you. That's what I want for myself. Man, I just remember so many times watching people think they got something, and then you don't have it no more. But yeah, Whoopi was great, man.
You compared your character on Outcome to Deion Sanders.
That's not all of it.
As a civil rights lawyer.
I said, the character I play in that Keanu Reeves movie is essentially a mix between Deion Sanders and Al Sharpton. If Deion Sanders was a civil rights lawyer. If Deion Sanders was Ben Crump.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, prime time. It's going to get the case straight, baby. We're going to get the racism bag. I mean, that. I know that's a tough shit, but yeah.
HBCU. Why did you decide to go to an HBCU?
I feel like I will be appreciated there. It's a beautiful thing, black colleges, man. My mother, my pops graduated Morehouse, and then he taught at FAMU.
Okay.
My mama FAM, she was Delta State before that, then FAM for grad. My aunt was FAM, then Tennessee State. It's just culture there. I feel like in Birmingham city schools are all predominantly black, and marching band culture is a big deal. So
for sure.
There's this kind of a natural graduation from a black school system
To an HBCU.
to an HBCU. Like it just felt no brainer.
Seamless transition. It seems
Yeah,
right.
it just I never thought about anywhere else. I only applied to 3 colleges out of high school. I applied to FAM, Clark, and Tennessee State.
Clark, you go to the AU Center, huh?
I found out Tennessee State didn't have a baseball team, so they was out. Because I thought I was still,
Right.
every
You gonna be
motherfucker.
Jackie Robinson?
Yeah. I was gonna be Ryan Sandberg.
Okay, right, okay.
Second baseman.
Yeah.
And I ended up going to FAM because I felt like it was just going to be a better experience. It wasn't a knock on Clark, but I was just like, smaller school, and there weren't a lot of people from my school going to FAM. I think Stephanie and Shauna, I think it was like 2 or 3 people from my high school. I just wanted to be, college, you get to reinvent yourself.
Correct.
You get to be a whole
Because
new
you get to
person.
hold. They don't know you.
Correct. And so I chose FAM. I tried out for baseball, got cut in 30 minutes.
Damn. Are you sure you were a baseball player?
I was in high school, I guess. But like baseball, I thought I had a week, bro. I thought I had a week. Like, like in high school, tryouts is a week.
Yes.
We will evaluate you on these disciplines every day.
Yeah.
College baseball, they say we gonna give y'all 45 minutes. And every 45 minutes, we calling out numbers. And if your number ain't called, go home.
Wow.
And my shit got called in 30 minutes. I said, I thought I had 45. They said, we've seen enough.
So what was it? The fielding? Was it the hitting? Was it the throwing?
It was everything, nigga. It was terrible. What do you mean? What specific? No, I just did. I didn't play in high school enough. I didn't play summer ball. I didn't play fall ball. My parents used to argue a lot, and in those times, my pops wouldn't pay bills.
Oh.
I'm gonna show y'all what the. Mm-hmm. So sometimes a bill wouldn't get paid.
And so Bill couldn't get paid. You couldn't go play baseball.
You come home, the lights off.
Yeah.
So you go through that freshman and sophomore year. By my junior year of high school, I was working 30 hours a week, man, which is illegal. I should be at home playing, but I'm working. You figure out how to circumvent all that labor law shit.
You're theoretically the man of the house as a kid.
I'm not paying the bills, but my mama know I got it upstairs in that Batman can. I had a little Batman can with Michael Keaton on the side. And I had cash in that.
Right.
All right, he ain't paid the light bill. But now my grade's suffering. But I knew I was good with standardized tests, so I wasn't really tripping on it. But
you've always...
But I worked, man. I worked so that I could have independence. I didn't want... You grow up listening to your mama borrow money from niggas over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. The only way to keep that from happening is to be able to self-sustain.
Right.
So to self-sustain, you got to work.
Correct.
So I rate leaves. I walked up to the Church's Chicken across from West End High School. Hey, man, I know you clean this parking lot every day at 3 o'clock. Give me $10 and I'll do it. Start working with him. Go across the street to the Citgo. Hey, man, I clean Church's parking lot. Tell you what, instead of giving me $10, give me $10 worth of candy and write it off as shoplifting. Say, bet, I take that $10, I walk it back to school the next day, sell that for $30. So, yeah, I missed the baseball camp. And then you get to college and you go, oh shit, they got Cubans. I had never seen a Cuban, ain't met one. Because you gotta remember, I'm all black neighborhood.
Yeah, in Birmingham.
It's like,
unfortunately, there are no Cubans in Birmingham.
it's 2 Guatemalans and a Vietnamese. That's all I knew until high school. I got to college, they had a Cuban on the mound. That motherfucker. I said, I'm going to Shoney's. Fucking left.
Did you understand the responsibility that you were undertaking, even though you were a child and you was working and your mom would, you would help your mom with bills, but you kind of grew up as a responsibility as the man or the head of the house, even though as a child, that's not a child's responsibility.
No.
Do you feel like you ever had a chance to be a child?
No. Not once we moved to Birmingham. No. I mean, I went through therapy for a while on it, but even when I look back on the credit card licks I was running in college, originally my thought was, oh, I act like this because I'm an adrenaline junkie. There's a degree of excitement to committing crime.
Yeah.
It just is. And if you're into jumping out of planes or whatever, I highly recommend committing felonies.
They read that car, you're like, oh. Like, damn. I ain't Mr. Purcell. But they don't know right now.
It's called a code 6. So in the 90s, the machine would show a code 6, which means that the car was stolen, or they need to call the card company to verify that shit. And then they call the card company in front of you at the register and then hand you the phone. And you on the phone with the card company. Hello, yes, I am Mr. Purcell. And then they go, what's your social and your billing zip code? And I go, 32J9X. Oh, yes. Oh. Well, you know what? I thought I had more money on the card. So that's why it didn't go through. It didn't go through because I don't have enough money on the card. Great. All right, no problem. Thank you so much. The whole time the person on the phone is going, give the phone back to the cashier. Give the phone back to the cashier. Oh, so it didn't go through because I don't have I understood. Click. Now you have, as long as it takes them to call the store back
to get your ass up
out of this store. A rush. But when I really started digging deep on myself, I did this so I wouldn't be a burden on my mom. My mom, absent of my father, those first K through 3 in Memphis, calling asking people for money. I don't want you to have to do that no more. So
did you feel a sense of embarrassment? Were you embarrassed by that?
Embarrassed.
Because nobody you knew, maybe the grown-ups, but you didn't have kids. Like, it's one thing if kids know you're poor or know you don't have things to eat or you don't have decent clothes. That's one thing. That's something entirely different. Did any kids know that you were in this situation, or were they just grown-ups?
No, because I'm the son of the most popular journalist in the city of Birmingham.
So they think you got it good. They think they're like, man, Roy got it good.
We had a nice 2-story house. I had a basketball goal. I had a plexiglass backboard. We had a couple of decent things.
Right.
But also the heat wasn't on. So what the fuck? So yeah, you get a little older, you start working, you start raking leaves around the neighborhood. Bro, I would rake leaves. $10 front, $15 front and back. And then I would take the bags of leaves, and at night, I would go to a house that didn't have leaves in the yard.
And pull the leaves out. Come on, Roy. I just see a criminal enterprise right here. This is what I see, a criminal enterprise, Roy.
Wait 2 days, come back to your crib, look like you got a lot of leaves.
Well, I did before you pulled them out my yard.
$10, $15 front and back, $10 front, $15 front and back. And that was the lick. But now I don't have to ask my mama for a Nintendo tape. I don't have to ask her for the Ken Griffey's. I ain't got to ask her for the Sammy Sosa Cubs batting practice jersey, 1994. I got it. Just give me a ride to the mall, Joyce. That's all I need. Because the bus don't go that far. I wouldn't even burden you with the transportation. So you grow up like that. And the other thing, I think the other downside to all of it is that within that hustle, you grow up alone. I think the best and worst people are comfortable alone. I'm extremely comfortable alone. I got suspended from school You made your whole lick. You made your whole lick selling stolen shit on a college campus. If you ain't the plug no more, what's your social capital? Who with you? Nobody. You on the road doing comedy, and then when I first started, I was on the bus. I'm ironing my suit on fucking baby changers. I'm alone. You get used to that.
Can I ask you a question?
So you get to where I am now, and it's like, well, in the relationship.
Can you distinguish the difference between being alone and being lonely?
I don't know.
Because I don't believe those things are mutually exclusive.
I
believe you can be alone.
I think the problem with loneliness is that you will sometimes remedy it with people that are corrosive or activities that are corrosive.
Agreed.
And I think that's the problem with true loneliness, is that you can immediately become so desperate for human contact that you're willing to do anything, go anywhere, hang with anybody.
You accept anyone into that circle.
Yeah, I'm blessed in that, I had a couple of tight partners in college. My partner Brooke Williams, there was a time when a lot of people didn't with me in school. You become radioactive once you get arrested.
Yeah.
And you're on probation, so I can't even be around the people that I used to hang because they doing dirt.
Yeah.
You might be the snitch. And keep in mind, when you get arrested, they show you pictures of every that's committing crimes within the metro area and ask you if you know them.
No, I don't. Damn, I know it.
And you do. You know 90% of the mugshots. But you go, I don't know him. I ain't never been around him. So I can't come around you anymore because if they catch you, what that make me look like?
Right.
So you're alone. Comedy is a loner sport. You live alone in your thoughts on the long drives. You're alone in the hotel rooms. That's why so many comedians fall into drugs and women.
Katt, that's what Katt said. Because it's alone. It's, you start work at 10 o'clock at night and you sleep till 6 o'clock in the afternoon because you don't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And but I'm interested to know, were you always funny? How did you decide to get into stand-up?
The itch was always there. I've always had a sense of humor.
Okay. Were you a class clown?
No, not till college. But in high school, I wrote the bench. When I played baseball, I wrote the bench. So we just crack on people.
Right.
So that was my contribution to the game, was just we would sit in the parking lot and we would watch and see what kind of car your mama dropped you off in. Make a note of that. You come up to the plate, yeah, your mama got the raggedy Taurus. Strike. Your ass ain't paying attention.
Right.
Like we would heckle, man. I mean, granted, it was the 90s, so it was a lot of what you couldn't get away with now. But I mean, we'd call you gay, we'd call you poor, we'd call your grandmama ugly.
Damn.
There was no rules, bro. There was no rules. And that was kind of the first open mics for me, was just heckling opposing teams. And then I got to college, seeing Ricky Smiley on BET's Comic View do My Name Lil Darryl.
The Lil Darryl.
That validated, okay, bet I can be from here
And do it.
Now, how do I get over there? And I saw, the first stand-up show I ever saw was Lavelle Crawford and Corey Zooman Miller. And they came to FAMU my freshman year for homecoming. And and it was the first time I saw the power of words just destroy the room, man. And I had a plug over at Florida State, and she was from Birmingham, and she ran the student activities shit. Earthquake came, then Bobby Lee, then Michael Blackson. This is all within like Florida State had more money.
Yeah.
So they had comedy on a regular basis. FAMU, you get one nigga a semester. Florida State, every 2 weeks, they had a comedy show. And so I had my fake ID plug make me a fake Seminole card, and I would go over to Florida State and pretend to be a Florida State student and would just watch stand up. And like, that's why I was like, that's what I want to do. As much as I love Stuart Scott and Kenny Mayne and their ability to bring humor to sports, I think there's something different that I want to do. And that's kind of where the itch was. Right. But it wasn't until I got arrested that I was like, all right, I have to do it now.
Because you don't have no choice.
I'm going to prison.
Right.
I didn't know I was going to get probation. I thought I was going to prison. So let me try it before I go to prison.
Riding, it's the loneliness that you mentioned, riding the Greyhound buses, sleeping at rest stops. Nobody but you. And, you know, everybody is not going to get the standing ovation the very first time they get on stage. They're going to be some boos. They're going to be some trials. They're going to be some tribulations.
Shout out to Uptown in Atlanta. Keep going.
Uptown Comedy Club. I used to go there all the time.
The old one, when it was upstairs?
Yeah.
Next to Puffy's, right? The Justin's.
Yes, right there on P Street.
I used to get booed, and then I would walk over to Justin's and get me an $8 water and wait to catch the bus to go back to the Greyhound station.
So you riding MARTA?
Yeah, I would take the MARTA downtown. There was a MARTA.
The MARTA was right down the street from Magic City.
And there was a MARTA Greyhound hub station downtown. So you could either sit at Justin's and be sad, or you could go to the Greyhound station and be sad. Mm-hmm. And if I had $8, I would go to Justin's and get me an $8 Voss water. They was charging $8 for them fucking waters. Mm-hmm. That's why they closed. Fuck them.
Did you ever think about quitting comedy? Did it ever get that bad? Like, man, F this, man.
No. I got lucky, bro. I got lucky because I started so young. Mm-hmm. So by the time I graduated college, I was 3 years in it.
Wow.
So when I graduated, just for the math, I had two jobs. I had 2 job offers in journalism. Or 2 jobs I could have gotten. Tampa Tribune and the Birmingham News, both were going to pay about $14K to be the page 2 sports. I forget what it's called, but like back in the day in the newspaper, page 2 was just the score of every sporting contest in the country that day. And it's clerical. Right. $14,000. By my estimates, I was going to make $18,000 that year on the road. I'll just do it. I call my mom. I go, yo, can I move back in with you? If you give me 2 years, I'll be out of your house. She said, cool. I called my probation officer. He said, I'll give you 9-day visitation forms. Every 9th day, you got to come back to Tallahassee. We got to do, I think it was 21 days. Come back to Tallahassee every month. Do a face-to-face. Stay at my partner crib. Couch surf with him. Get back to Birmingham. And that was it. But I never thought about quitting. I'm lucky, man. I'm so blessed and I'm so thankful because so much of my journey has been from people who didn't have to take a chance on me.
Right.
Taking a chance on me. Every fucking step of the way for 27 years, it's been that. And, I even look at radio where, I did prank phone calls.
Yeah.
And I went viral when you go viral over email.
Yeah.
That's how old I am. Well, you wouldn't know. You ain't got email.
I ain't got email.
But
so how did you get into the prank phone calls?
Because that's what Ricky did. It's morning radio. Right. You got to do what the streets want. Like, okay. I came in on morning radio. I'm like, all right, I want to do parody songs and funny commercials and weird political ad. They're like, get in that fucking room and get a black person to cuss you out. Go in that room and let black people cuss you out and record it. I go, yes, sir. And so I got good at it. I put them on CDs. And what happened was that we had a webmaster at the radio station who was just lazy. And I go, hey man, these prank calls do really well. We only play them that day. I work really, it's hard to do it. To get one prank call, you got to call 4 or 5 people. Mm-hmm. Could you put these on the website so that people could download them? No, that's too much work.
Lazy mofo.
So, I mean, I'm not saying this like I know coding or some shit, but I taught myself rudimentary web design to build my own website. There used to be an app called Microsoft Front Page, which was like, it's Squarespace now, but it's basically, if you know Microsoft Word, you could build a website.
Right.
Built my own website, put my pranks on the website. First week, my website crashed. Second week, my website crashed. Third week, I get a call from the website server people. Yeah, you're getting a lot of traffic from all over the globe. We need you got to purchase a gajillion, billion, terabyte, whatever. I have been putting my pranks on my website strictly for people in Birmingham to download. But the folks in Birmingham was taking them and emailing them to their folks all over the country. And then those people was emailing them all over the globe. And
word of mouth.
And that validated me to be able to sell prank call CDs. And those CDs carried me for 4 or 5 years, man, at a time where a lot of the comedy clubs weren't paying me what I should. Right. I know I could pull up and sell the CD. You know, there's a cat, this cat Akil back in Birmingham, and Akil ran the black-owned music store, Music and More. Right. He carried my CDs on the strength of just me. Mm-hmm. But because he carried my CDs, every other white store wanted the CDs because they didn't want to be the one to miss out. I was selling them on consignment. I had my shit in Sam Goody. My shit was in Turtles. My shit was in Blockbuster Music. Damn. And that's all because this black-owned business took a chance on me at the time. And like that type of stuff got me buzz. Because this is, you also got to remember, the early 2000s, comedy and hip hop still had a relationship. It was more, you know, like, yeah, like Lil Duval was just starting to run with Grand Hustle. I think Katt was with Dipset.
Mm-hmm. He was.
You had D-Ray and them was running with Kanye. Mm-hmm. Henry Welch was running with Outkast and Organized Noise, right? So
there was to see him all the time at Uptown Comedy.
Okay, yeah, Henry. So King Henry, he a Birmingham nigga. So the idea of hip hop and comedy was starting to work. Mm-hmm. Word get back to me after a couple of years. They go, hey man, Chameleonaire put one of your pranks on one of his mixtapes. Just Chameleonaire doing that opened up the whole state of Texas to me, because now if I'm on Chameleonaire's mixtape, Texas DJs are going to want my pranks. Mm-hmm. And if I'm on the radio, then the comedy club in that market wants to book me. Mm. That's more valuable than a TV credit, bro. Yep. Cameron did same shit. Now, granted, I couldn't drive all the way to New York to take advantage of being on Dipset mixtapes, but there's just so many. I look at my life in times, man, and, you know, CeeLo said, everybody's somebody because of somebody else. Right. And that's the truth for me, man. I'm just thankful.
How did shows like Comic View and Apollo, because I read that you were like turned down by Comic View.
Yeah, early on. I mean, a lot of cats did. I mean, but my comedy's more preppy and upright. Like, it wasn't like coming off of Def Jam, you wanted loud, boisterous, bombastic comedy. So I get why I didn't get it, you know, to start, but.
Other comedians, like growing up, you said you always had a sense of humor. What were some of the comics that you looked at like, man, I like that? You know, a lot of people say it was Pryor and it was Murphy. Obviously now you have Chappelle and things, a Rock, things of that nature. But when you were a kid, who did you look to in comedy?
Sinbad, Chris Rock, George Carlin. Sinbad was just a beast, man. He was a machine.
He was.
People forget that Sinbad did a live stand-up special on network. Like, you can talk about freedom of speech. Who you know do a live comedy special on network television?
That's crazy.
Oh, I'm live on Netflix. You don't know what I'm gonna say. Sinbad was live on ABC with commercial breaks, which means you got to write commercial breaks into your set because you're still performing even while the nation isn't watching. That's psychotic behavior. And then with an all-black camera crew, then gives the all-black camera crew a shout out on live TV while they shooting the special. He does not get his flowers. He does not get the respect that, in my opinion, he doesn't get the praise that he deserves. But it was Chris Rock, it was George Carlin, a little bit of Martin Lawrence early on. His first CD, Funk It, was like, or was it You So Crazy? I'm not sure, but Funk It was the one that like,
Got you.
that's the one that got me. Like my early stand-up was a terrible Martin Lawrence impersonation.
Right.
Like if you get it, every comic when they start, you just impersonating somebody else.
Right.
Until you figure out your voice. And for me, it was Martin.
You mentioned that DL gave you your first big break. Did DL actually know that he was giving you this break?
No. That's one of like, DL is one of those OGs that gives more than he has to. And I would also put that on Marlon and Sean Wayans too.
For sure.
You know, I used to do, so when I was doing mornings, one of the advantages for those 10 years that I was on the air in Birmingham while doing stand-up was that any black comedian that came into the city did our show.
Okay.
So I got to meet you. I got to see your approach to marketing and analyzing, which bookmarked Lavelle Crawford and Bruce, most brilliant marketers ever in black comedy. Marlon and Sean would do our show every year, even if the show was sold out. And the only other person I knew who would do that was Sinbad. Sinbad would come in and do media even if the show was sold out because he knew he was essentially selling next year's show right now. DL, what happened with DL, so when I got hired at the radio station, I lied, bro. I lied, like that. The one thing I also learned in entertainment is that nobody's telling the truth. So just fucking lie. And if they catch you, apologize or figure your way out of it. But most of what you're saying, nobody's double checking. So just lie.
So it's easier to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
So 95.7 Jams at the time, Ricky Smiley leaves, they do a contest to see, and my man Sid Delaney, who I have to give a shout out to, Sid was there for a couple years after Ricky, and then they get into what they're trying to do with a new comic after Sid and them leave. I called the DJ, my man Buck Wild, still there now, and I go, hey man, I'm a young comic, I got a degree in journalism, I think I could do comedy. He goes, I don't know if you're funny, we're just not going to do any more auditions right now, but thanks. I go, okay, cool. I called the comedy club because I knew DL was performing that weekend, and I knew Jams promotes the black comics. I called the comedy club. I go, hey, Bruce Ayers, he's the owner. I go, hey, Bruce, I just got hired at 95.7 Jams.
That man told you they weren't accepting any more auditions.
Buck Wild said there wasn't no more auditions. But Bruce Ayers don't know ain't no more auditions. So I called Bruce. I go, hey, big dog, I just got hired at 95.7. They say they want me to host for DL instead of doing the station promo T-shirt toss.
Right.
Bruce goes, cool, see you Friday. I get off the phone with Bruce. I call Buck Wild back. Hey, man, I just got booked to open for DL Hughley Friday night. Watch me. If I'm not funny, then don't with me. If I am funny,
give me that job.
Give me the job. He goes, cool. That's Tuesday. Friday comes. All I got to do is keep Buck Wild and Bruce Ayers.
Keep them separated.
And this is not Buck Wild starring Buck Wild. This is a different Buck Wild. Friday night come. I keep them separated. I go out on stage. I do my 5. And it's one of those nights where just everything worked. It's just God. Every joke, every syllable. And I'm from there, So I got home field advantage. I'm destroying, bro. And as I come off stage, Buck Wild is standing there and he goes, see you Monday morning, bring 12 Krispy Kremes. And next to Buck is D.L. Hughley. And D.L. goes, hey, young brother, that was a good set. What do you say you staying open for me for the rest of the weekend? Now, at this time, at this comedy club, the Stardome in Birmingham, this is my home club. You don't get to open for a fucking weekend headliner until you've done all of these other progressions within the club. You got to perform on this night for this type, and this night for this type. DL's vouch skipped me straight to the front of the fucking line.
Skip to the front of the line.
And now I have tape opening for him, which essentially opens up me to work Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Memphis, and Atlanta. Because now I can put your name on my resume, and that validates me. And you know, that's what I mean, man. It's just DL didn't know he was doing all that. He was just like, you're funny. Do that same five.
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he did, but it like that type of stuff, man, I've never forgotten, and I've tried my best to be that for
Others.
when I can. You know, I try.
You mentioned about how hard it is to follow, and I've heard a lot of people had Ricky Smiley on. As you know, I've had a lot of comedians on because I love comedians. And Ricky said, the one thing, I ain't following Lavelle Crawford. I ain't doing it. And you mentioned Patrice O'Neal and Tommy Davis and Lavelle Crawford. How hard is it actually? Even though you good, like, man, I'm good. I do what I do.
Not.
But how hard is it to follow somebody like a Lavelle Crawford? Rest his soul, Patrice.
I don't know, because I've never done it, and I never will. I will never follow Lavelle Crawford. I will just quit comedy. I will become a podcaster. Lavelle and Bruce.
I see Bruce. I used to see Bruce all the time when I was in Atlanta.
I have the utmost respect for them, because when you do morning radio, I get to see you market, and I see how you move. Lavelle and Bruce will come to Birmingham the night before. Now, granted, y'all Atlanta, you can drive over 6 in the morning, be in the studio at 7:30, promote the show.
90 minutes.
Lavelle and Bruce would come into Birmingham the day before, and they would go to the Black Mall. They would go to Century Plaza at that time. They would go to Century Plaza and Western Hills Mall, and they would just crack on in the food court. Like, you talk about word of mouth. They literally would just go in City Trends.
Yeah.
You gonna buy that? That shit don't look good. And just roast straight. Then bounce around to all the barbershops in the city in the afternoon. Then that night, go to the club. Go to one or two clubs. Just to be like, it's one thing to be funny. Lavelle's funny, blah, blah, blah. But to market yourself and understand the importance of outreach and connecting with people. Like, you can do it all through social now, and you can connect. Well, all right, fine. But in those days, you had to really grind to create an audience, man. And those brothers, I watched them. I watched them for a decade come into town, and they would have a Thursday through Sunday. And then it became a Friday, Saturday. Then it became a Friday, Saturday. Instead of 4 shows, 6 shows. Instead of 4 shows, 8 shows. Gary Owen too. That's another one. Like, they were just, and they not only understood being funny on stage, but they understood how to be funny on the radio. We used to call Lavelle a pushback, where in radio, you would turn on the mic, 95.7 Jams, who's in the studio, Lavelle Crawford at start on. Lavelle, how you doing? And you just push back from the mic. That nigga gonna talk for 4 minutes straight. Choke, 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 choke. Roast everybody in the room. We take a call. He roasts their ass too. The marketing of it was intentional, and it was diabolical. And I didn't understand it at the time. I wish I did. There's so many balls I feel like I dropped when it comes to understanding marketing with stand-up that I feel like I'm even now still making up time for.
You got to open for Katt, who opened for Cash Money. Let me ask you this.
I'll tell you about that night.
I caught a lot of criticism for the Katt interview because
I don't know why.
Because Katt peeled back a scab that if you're not in that business, you didn't know. You didn't know so many comics didn't like each other until Katt revealed that, unless you're in the comic, you're in that area.
As a comic, I was like, oh yeah, I already know.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the world didn't know that.
Okay.
So he pulled back a scab and allowed the world to see what was going on in that business. You mentioned, and I was like, and people got upset at me, and a lot of people have, been very outspoken and said some things, and I've gotten some pushback. I'm like, y'all could say what y'all said to me. Why don't y'all say that to Katt? I didn't say anything. I said that's Katt experience. That is Katt experience with said individuals. When I allow people, this is your story. You coming on and telling your story about your father. Now, me pushing back, well, your father did the best he could, and he did X, Y, and Z. But this is your story. Yeah. I should allow you to come on and tell your story. I'll allow Katt to come on and tell his story. But everybody got upset at me.
And not Katt for saying.
They ain't got mad at Katt.
Have you talked to him since the interview?
Who, Katt?
Yeah.
Yes. And he said, he's like, they're not going to say anything to me. What they going to say to me? Because this is what I do. And he said, that was not a direct hit. That was just a flyover.
It absolutely was. I mean, knowing some of the infighting in comedy, I try to, I move in love. Mm-hmm. And usually when beef start within black comedy, I already went home because the cocaine is out.
Right.
My goal, you have to understand, my goal at any comedy show is to leave before the cocaine comes out. So most of the shit Katt was talking about, the cocaine was out.
Okay.
The liquor was flowing.
Yeah.
Like there was some shit going on. The funniest shit about Katt, and I've only worked with him that one time. I can't even say that he ever did our morning show because by the time he became Katt, there was no need for him to do local radio on a Friday morning. Cash Money, Katt is going up and Cash Money's on the show. I don't know which in the Hot Boys, but somebody in the Hot Boys would not come off the bus until they got a bottle of Cristal. It's 10:30 on a Thursday night in Birmingham, Alabama. There ain't no fucking Cristal.
Yeah.
Where the we gonna get Cristal? Where?
In Birmingham, nowhere.
Strip club.
Oh, okay. Right.
So our program director called some folks at the strip club and was like, we need 2 bottles of Cristal. Can you sell us 2 bottles of Cristal out the back? And they was like, yeah. Who they for? Lil Wayne. I want tickets. Then we get there with the Cristal, and the club owner bringing the Cristal. Now he want a meet and greet with Wayne. If you don't stop, you are fucking. And this is like the back to school backpack concert. So like, we need this concert to happen because the proceeds go to help the community.
Right.
Nah, I'm just saying, I need to meet Wayne. I don't even think that's cool. But yeah, Katt was there, man. He showed a lot of love. I bombed. Ooh, I bombed. And it's worse when you bomb at the crib because called the station the next day to tell you.
Why'd you bomb?
Because I don't know. Some days it ain't your day.
It had to be that day.
I bombed one time. I almost got booed. Well, technically I did get booed at the Apollo. The Sandman didn't come out. If the Sandman don't come out, did you get booed?
I mean, if they booing, nah, technically, I guess not.
No, technically a boo is a boo.
Nah, but the Sandman, they got to come get you.
Okay, I got booed, but no Sandman. So whatever you want to call that.
Right.
Next day, it airs on Apollo used to come on Sunday nights on UPN in Birmingham. Next day, I'm at the radio station. Somebody called. They said, man, if that's the best you can do, tell you from Montgomery. I ain't never forgot that shit, bro. I ain't never forgot it. But no, I think Katt Williams is one of the best comedians doing it right now. It's not even close. And what's interesting, what's fun about watching Katt is that you can see him turn the political switch on, and then you see him turn it off.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that. No. Anyway, let's talk about ladies.
Right.
Like, and that's a beautiful. It goes back to that Dick Gregory separation of the two. You know, granted, pain versus politics. Katt can just be silly, and then he can be poignant.
Yeah. The Washington Post said, "You occupy space filled by Chris Rock in the 90s, Dave Chappelle in the early 2000s. Black comedians who double as one of the most thoughtful and political commentators."
That's kind of them.
Did you intentionally try to occupy this space? Because like I said, you know, Pryor did for a little while, but mainly it's Mooney, Carlin, Rock, Chappelle.
Yeah. I don't even think I'm in that.
Oh, you are.
I'm not. There's more work to be done, in my opinion, to get to that pantheon. I have just tried to make people laugh by showing them my perspective on the world as I see it.
Right.
My first 3 comedy specials were very political. The one I just did for Hulu was about loneliness and just how we're fucked up inside as a people. That's really all I wanted to talk about. Is that special, the first half of that special is y'all are fucked up, and then the back half is I'm fucked up. That was it. I didn't try to give a deep analysis of politics in that particular special by intention, because I was just tired of talking about the world. I wanted to talk about us and me. But you know, I'm thankful to the Washington Post for those words, but
Because isn't a comedian's job is to take real events and make them funny?
yeah.
That's that in and of its nature
Yeah.
is
Or it's events from the world or events that happen to you.
you. Right.
Comedy is journalism. We're all reporters. Every comedian you name is a reporter. And they're either reporting on the world as they see it or themselves and their own condition and their state of mind. To me, that's what this is. I didn't set out to talk about a bunch of politics. I just woke up one day and I kind of started caring about racism more than I did talking about paying back my student loans. Y'all put that on me. They put that on me. You know, I'm thankful for that time at the Daily Show because, you know, Trevor Noah gave me a lot of runway to talk about a lot of black shit and take cameras into places where normally black folks,
Wouldn't.
mainstream media is not gonna,
Right.
they're not gonna allow that. I don't know any other program that would have even attempted to look at the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March
Right. Okay.
with jokes
Yeah.
and somehow still remain respectful to what black people were doing. I mean, we spoke with Nuri Muhammad from The Nation in that piece, which I would have even, and that's also why I've tried my best, man, to be kind to people and to be polite, because you don't know when you're going to need those favors. Like, that was the second piece that I did for The Daily Show, was talking about the Justice or Else March.
Right.
I don't know anybody in the nation. I'm not plugged in like that.
Right.
But I know Charlemagne the God is. And I don't know, at the time, I don't know Charlemagne. But I know Andrew Schultz. And I know Schultz knows Charlemagne. Hey, Schultz is Wood. Wouldn't call you if I didn't need this. Can you hit Charlemagne? Tell Charlemagne to hit. Made the call, telephone game. 2 days later, we get an email from The Nation. Wow. Here's who you can talk to. Here are the terms. So I never saw that as some sort of crusade of blackness. It was just, these are the stories that are interesting to me. How can I make them funny so that they'll be interesting to you? Let's go to the south side of Chicago and do a walk along with strangers who diffuse gang conflict. What's funny about it? Not sure. We'll figure it out though. But the what is more important than the funny. So let's go out and do that. Hey, Roy, tell your camera crew to stay over there and don't point the cameras down the street. We're going to go up the block and make sure it's cool for y'all to even come up the block. That type of shit.
Wow.
And I have to give respect to Trevor Noah for giving me the runway. Because here's the thing. I'm the new dude at the Daily Show. I'm not going to come in and go, yo, we should talk to the nation and we should go to Chicago. But like, hush. So you need Trevor to come in with that accent.
Right.
I think what Roy is trying to say, I'm like, yeah, tell him what I'm trying to say.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so having producers that cared enough to allow me, I mean, man, one of the last stories I did before I left Daily Show was about Cop City in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. We in the forest with people who were shitting in buckets, trying to stop police from building a training facility that's just going to make the police more militaristic and ruin the environment.
Wow.
So did I set out to do that? I don't know, man. That's just the stuff I'm drawn to. Right. And I don't know if that's because I did ride-alongs with my dad.
And you got an opportunity to see what was.
I don't know. I don't know where it got planted, you know? You ever think about, do you ever concern yourself with how much of a burden you want to give your children about being black versus what being black could be? How do you teach the history without giving them the burden?
Yeah. Yeah, I try. I've tried to shield them as much as I possibly could. But I think they did a lot of research on their own and they understand what that, even though that last name is still attached to a black man.
You know what's wild? I did Finding Your Roots, and they found the white family that purchased the first black wood of my bloodline off the slave ships in Charleston.
Yep, that's what we came off of.
If I wanted to today, I could find the white wood descendants in southern Georgia and pull up on their fucking house. One day I will.
Yeah.
They ain't got no money though. I Zillowed they crib. They broke. Like, that's the thing we don't talk about with slavery, man, is that there was a lot of white people fumbled. Like, yo.
They fumbled the bag?
Yeah, you had working for you, you still couldn't come up. How you broke and you had slaves?
Yeah, that was valuable. That was gold.
They fumbled, bro.
You have you ever met Rock and Chappelle?
Yeah. Rock and I are cool. I'm cooler with Rock than Chappelle. I see Rock more frequently than Chappelle.
Yeah, because
let me say it that way. You know, Chappelle he show up like Yoda and then be gone. But Rock I've seen from time to time at the comedy clubs and stuff around New York. Number of respect for both of them, you know, and just what they've worked to build, you know. You also have to really think about a lot of what Dave built and what we know and love Dave for came from rejecting the industry.
Yes.
And not knowing, he didn't know what was on the other side of going to Africa, but he followed his instincts and he knew that was the right thing to do. So
that's a lot. I mean, to turn that down, but now what makes him so impressive is that they can't take something that he didn't value. See, once he found out what they value that he didn't value, now you could no longer harvest.
Correct.
You couldn't harm him. See, it's hard to starve a man that can grow his crop and cook for himself. You can't starve him.
Yeah.
Because he can live off the land. He knows how to survive.
And that's what I want. You know,
Chappelle, once Chappelle found out he could survive, he can do a show. He don't really need anybody. He could I'm doing a show at such and such. It's sold out in 5 minutes. Probably gonna crash the site. but it sold out in 5 minutes.
It's like that old school Prince shit where Prince would just tell his tour bus driver, drive west. What city? I'll tell you later. And then sell out Staples Center on 2 days' notice.
Yep.
Yeah, I really
That's
do.
what you want.
That's what I want for myself. You know, I think that, oh man, I can look at so many times in my life where I got fucked in the game and it wasn't my fault.
You didn't know.
I got fired from radio. I found out I got fired from radio over Twitter.
Damn. People don't even have the courage
Well,
to
at
call
least
you.
have some compassion. Goddamn, why you say it like?
But I'm saying they don't have the common courtesy to call anymore.
What is common courtesy?
Hey, Roy, we're going to look. It's going to hurt the same. I'm going to be without a job. The income's not going to be coming in. But you know, Roy, you know what we're doing. We're downsizing. We decided to go in a different direction. We really appreciate your contributions to the network, to the station. We wish you the best of luck. But unfortunately,
No.
man,
You
I guess
Goo-
I
you
sound like I've
Google-
given that speech before.
If you Google Roy Wood Jr. show fired, you read the article. It's still up. They fired us, and I found out that morning on Twitter. I thought I was dead. They were like, man, I'm going to miss Roy. The f- did I do? Am I dead? Like, I gave my heart and soul to that show, and it ultimately came down to what they saw as a conflict of interest. I booked a sitcom. I'm a comedian. I can't say no to a sitcom.
No.
Can I do the show from LA while I do the sitcom? They say, well, think about it. Next day, fired. That's the game. I think that we have made the mistake of thinking that the people who have lord over us have the same compassion. They don't. And once you accept that, you're free to move. It's like comedian Doug Stanhope say, once you accept that you're completely and unapologetically fucked, only then are you free to move throughout this country without care and concern. I had a sitcom on TBS. We went 3 seasons. We got a handshake for the 4th season. The next week, the show was canceled. That's the game. It's unfortunate, but that is the game. You work Daily Show for 8 years. They say you're in the running for the host, and then you find out somebody else was already in the running. Promised the job. Okay, that's fine. You can tell me because you thought I was going to tell him. Okay, cool. But now, where do I fit into the new structure of the show? And I know I can't trust you because you already said the bullshit. If I stay here and you merge, will the new host fire me? Will I even like the new host? Will the merger require a cut in salary? Will I be fired because of the merger and there's a salary fucking consolidation? Am I truly safe here? I don't know. But I do know if I'm going to find something next, it's going to be during an election year. So I should quit. It's nothing personal. I should quit. I'm going to quit, and I'll figure it out the same as I did after getting fired over Twitter, the same as I did after the handshake sitcom. I'm not scared because I've slept in fucking bus stations. All I need to do is make sure that the boy got a roof, he got clothes, and he got food.
And we'll figure everything else out.
Everything else out after that.
When you called that prank Jay Prince, did you know who Jay Prince was? Did you know who Jay Prince was when you pranked him?
Yes.
And that was one of the reasons why you wanted to prank him, huh?
I wish we still had the audio of that prank phone call.
What happened to it?
Deleted it on the day.
You deleted it?
Yes. You think I want that shit to leak? So for the people who don't know, so when the pranks were bubbling and Chameleonaires running with me, I'm on a Pimp C UGK mixtape and Dipset and all of that.
Yeah.
I get a call from a company and they go, hey, we want to do prank calls on Texas celebrities. We think your prank calls are great. Come on down to Texas. We're going to do the prank calls. We're going to prank call celebrities. I go, yeah, and they cut me a check.
Oh, I'm there.
It wasn't a lot. It was like $10,000, but
That's a lot of money back then, wasn't it?
it was a lot to a nigga making $500 a week on the road.
Yeah, you straight.
So they go, come down here and make these pranks. I go, bet. And they have a list of Texas celebrities, and it's like Paul Wall and Michael Irvin, TD Jakes. And they got Jay Prince on the list. And Jay Prince is, I grew up listening to Ghetto Boys. I grew up listening to Till Death Do Us Part and We Can't Be Stopped. And so I knew he was an imposing figure, but I figured him to be able to take a joke. When I called his ass, and he just kept asking me where I was. Like, where you at? Where you at? You talking all this shit. Where you at? And then the engineer came on the phone. He goes, hey, Jay, it's us. We're just pranking you. It's no big deal. This is Roy. He's a comedian. And Jay goes, oh, if you with him, I know exactly where you at. And he hung up the phone. And I'm like, he's on the way here. And everybody in the room was like, no, he's not. Jay can take a joke. We spend the next 20 minutes trying to call Jay Prince to like make sure shit is cool.
Right. He ain't answer the phone.
He answered the phone. So I told the people at the studio, I go, hey, I'm gonna run to the hotel and drop my bag. Cause I came straight to the studio from the airport. I go, listen, I'm gonna run to the hotel, drop my bags off, get some lunch. Let's do the rest of these pranks after lunch. Cool? Yeah. Cool. I went to the airport.
Did he show up to the station?
So years later, Jay calls Sway on MTV. He's talking to Sway, and Jay Prince confirmed he was on his way to the fucking studio to f me up. Oh wait, no, it was Drink Champs. Shout out to Drink Champs. Yeah, he was on Drink Champs.
But you
and Nori asked him.
You sound just like you too, man.
Nori asked him. He was like, yeah, man, did you go? Well, you know, I was just going to hook him up. I think that what I didn't realize with that prank was that because of what Jay meant to the streets, you can't clown nobody like that. But I'm a comedian, bro.
Right.
Like
we clown it. You clown everybody.
You clown everybody, but you can't clown Jay in his own town. Because I was in Houston when I did this, bro. I was in Houston a total of 3 hours. I landed, went to the studio, prank called Jay Prince. The shit went sideways. I got in the cab, went back to the airport. Back in Birmingham, whole day. Got back to my mama's house. Where you been? Don't worry about it, Joyce. Yeah, that was. We laugh about it now, Jay and I, but at the time,
it was serious.
I was violating.
Yeah.
Because the premise of the prank was, I own a mom and pop record shop. These Rap-A-Lot albums
they ain't selling.
Rap-A-Lot then fell off. And I'm naming artist by artist which Rap-A-Lot
artists ain't doing well.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm just naming Rap-A-Lot. You can't do that to the head of Rap-A-Lot Records. And claim you're in Houston.
Yeah, he was coming to see you.
As he should. Like, you have to come beat the shit out of somebody who's talking like that.
Is it true you was slapped by the co-worker for snitching?
Yeah. What? You say it like it was some sort of big, like.
You snitched on the man, Roy. Damn.
The wasn't doing his job. Him.
That ain't your place of employment.
I understood that after the slap. Let me explain it, because I tell the story in my book, but let me explain it, because I told the story in my book. All right, so Did you ever work any type of food service job? Dish room, anything? Okay, that's right. You too busy running routes.
Yeah, I was in the field. I do a manual labor.
Okay.
Cropping tobacco, picking up pecans, clipping onions, catching chicken.
Running that route tree.
Yeah.
So I worked in a hospital. You know Health South? Okay. Health South has a rehab hospital in Birmingham.
Okay.
I worked in the cafeteria. We go to the floors, collect the trays, wash the tray. We worked in the cafeteria.
Okay.
It is your job to help me collect the trays.
Right.
It's a two-man job.
Two-man job.
This motherfucker in the gym hooping for money. Because it's a rehab hospital.
Right.
They got a gym. He down there playing 21, $10 a point. Motherfucker, we have a job. We have a job.
He ain't break you off?
Fuck no, he hooping. He earned it.
Yeah.
So for perspective, I'm 16. This man is like 35, 36 years old. This is a grown man hooping for money. He make his money hooping at work. And when he free, he helped me in the dish room. I go to all the floors. I do the pickups. I do the drop first. I drop all the trays.
Right.
Hour later,
you go
do all the pick by myself.
By yourself.
Cause he down there hooping for $10 a point. I come back to the dish room and I'm behind. And like in the dish room in those days, you make lunch and the same hot plates and plates, whatever that they need for dinner.
Right.
You got to wash them so that they can flip them for to make the dinner plates.
They got to turn it around.
Supervisor come in and go, hey, but the dinner plates is taking too long. I go, well, that could be quicker if motherfucking Mike was here.
Oh, no.
Is that snitching or is that me just going, hey, man, get off my ass and look for the other that's supposed. Why are you in the dish room mad at me? I'm here.
Right.
This go.
So what you wanted him to ask, where is Mike?
But instead, you on my ass talking about I ain't washing fast enough. Of course I ain't washing fast enough. Bitch, I'm one person.
It's a two-man job and there's only one man here.
I say, Mike down in that gym, go ask Mike. He go down to the gym, get Mike. Mike come back to the dish room, slap the shit out of me. Grown man, slap a 16-year-old. Mike slapped the shit out of me. Then this motherfucker take a little vial out. That motherfucker twist that motherfucker. Tells me to get out of his dish room. And this man, for the next 30 minutes, Shannon, does the work that it should take 2 men to do an hour. 1 bump of cocaine, and that motherfucker washed all them dishes. He ain't wearing no glove. You know, industrial dishwasher, that's 200 degrees.
Yes.
Touching the bare hand, skin, touching the dishes, silverware. It's like holding a fucking hot iron.
Yes, that's a hot poker like you stick. Yes.
It's holding a hot poker.
Yes.
You pull dishes out in an industrial dishwasher, Mike was pulling them, stacking them, had the whole thing straight. We never were behind schedule. And he turns back to me and he goes, don't you ever question the master. And the whole time I'm thinking, I snitched on him. He gonna be in trouble. He gonna get written up. Nothing happened to him. And it was like the first time I learned a very valuable lesson of that if you are exceptionally good at your job, the rules do not apply to you. And all you can do is what you can do. So if you ain't as good as Mike, just do your best. Supervisors see you and respect, but it's the first and only time I ever snitched on anybody in my life was Cocaine Mike at Health South Rehab Hospital, Lakeshore Drive.
Mike, if you out there, hey, you did your A.
No, Mike, if you out there, you. 37, slapping a 16-year-old. Use a. I can talk that shit now because I know he old and I can take him.
Did you ever get called a Nepo baby? Because your father was an icon.
I never got called that.
Maybe because you didn't go in the profession that he was in.
I mean, technically I did. I mean, you know what's interesting is that I don't feel like black people get called Nepo babies in the same way that white people do, because I feel like
Bronny James did.
Yeah, Bronny, that's a whole nother that's a whole nother level. But like, oh, your dad's civil rights icon and you on the Daily Show talking about black issues.
Right.
The only reason you there is because my daddy didn't give me this.
Nah.
I mean, there are definitely, my pops died in 95, but also there are a great deal of people who I'm sure give me opportunities because they knew my dad or because they respect his legacy. But I still think we in a show improve atmosphere, Bronny included.
Wow.
Okay, you got skipped to the front of the line. We could argue the stats and say somebody else should have went in the second round. But sooner or later, Bronny got to put the basket in the hoop or he's going to be gone. Same as anybody else in the league.
We're gonna finish up on this. You said your dad was a good father, but a questionable husband.
Terrible husband. Yeah.
You think your mom? Did you ever see your mom stay up at night crying, wondering where he was when he was coming home? She just accepted the fact this is who he is, this is who she married, and this is what I'm going to deal with.
My mom knew what it was. My mom had an exit strategy. You're in a fucked situation. You don't gain anything from sitting here being sad about it. What's your way out? Okay, grad school, law school, bet. How do you pay for it? Move in with him. The boy gets a dad to beat the shit out of him if he jump bad. And at night, I can go be in school. The boy will be straight because the pops will be home and latchkey. He's fine. Okay. That's going to be my way out. I don't think that my mom, and I say think because she and I never talked about it. We still haven't talked about it yet. But I think that my mom and I, we just looked at it as, I've always looked at my mom and I as a team. We've always had each other's back. And I think that to some degree, the way my pops chose to treat her, she did not allow to define her. You can get the divorce and all, okay, fine, but that's the playbook she chose to run. I never saw my mama cry over that man. I never saw my mama stressed out over how he chose to treat her. I just saw a woman every night who worked hard and asked for help when she needed it. And now in the later years of her life is a vessel of kindness to so many other people. Like, she's the epitome of paying it forward.
So no, would you say we are not our circumstances, but what we become from our circumstances? Because a lot of times people will let their circumstances define who they are. Man, I came from this situation. This is how I am. I grew up like this. This is how I am. What did you become? Who are you from those circumstances?
I didn't have the best father, but I became a great father.
You didn't let those circumstances define you.
No. I didn't have the best examples of love, but I still seek the opportunity to create that construct for my son. And I will. I just think that there has to be an order to some of it, because what I don't necessarily know, and I think a lot of men deal with this and don't necessarily admit it or know how to explain it to women, but finding yourself and being comfortable with where you are career-wise and fiscally, a lot of that is a solo journey for men. Oh, you want to help me? You want to pour into me? You want to be my helpmeet? You want to be equally yoked? Okay. But there's still part of this for me that I have to go at alone first. Right. And then you can come and merge in and pour into me and help. Because if you don't know whether or not you can do this yourself, then there's a degree of wondering who you are and what you are.
The book, The Man of Many Fathers, comes out October 28th. What are the top 3 lessons you hope men learn from this book?
I hope that men learn from my book that it is okay if you didn't get everything from your dad. that was the first thing that I really learned was that, oh, I didn't get it all from him, but I got everything I needed. When we talk about values, if it could be something as silly as don't snitch, but it could also be something as random as, comedians that I know that have passed on who gave me the game on the importance of picking someone in terms of a mate that's supportive of you. I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make, in this game.
I hear Mary Harmon say that the most important thing the most important decision you'll ever make is who you choose to marry.
It's very true. I agree with that. And I mean, as an unmarried man, I couldn't agree with that anymore. I think that also the degree of knowing and understanding that you're okay in spite of how you came up. I don't think that it's very easy as a man to just write off the who, what, wins of a lot of shit and just go, oh, well, my daddy didn't do this, so I ain't shit. No, you got worth, man. You matter. And being present for those kids, that's important. It's paramount. And I think that regardless of when your father passed, I think we're all men of many fathers. We're all poured into by innumerable people in our lives. And I think if you stopped and took stock of any of those people, you would be blown away at how many lessons you might have missed that it's dope to be able to sit back and just think about now and reinforce and be able to pass that on to your kids. I look at my son every day, man, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that I wouldn't have achieved half I've achieved in the last 10 years if not for his presence. There's a drive in that.
2 weeks after your dad passed, you heard from him.
Yeah. That showed up as a ghost. For 2 weeks straight. And it's weird because, number one, I believe in ghosts. I
Do
believe
you?
in all that.
You believe in the supernatural?
Yes. I don't with Ouija boards. I don't with haunted houses. It's all real to me.
That was a big thing when I was in college. They wanted to play the Ouija board. And you remember
because of Bone Thugs and Harmony. Ouija, are you with me?
And you remember that the 8-ball, that thing you...
Magic 8-ball? No, sir. Don't touch it. Do not touch it. Not my thing. That stuff, man. It's weird because I heard my pop's ghost, but all I heard him doing was getting ready for work.
Yeah, we go through his normal routine.
I'm like, well, you still got a job? You're dead. Kick it.
I thought you was coming back to tell me you had some money buried
No,
somewhere.
sir. He came back because that's how bad the economy is. You gotta stay at it.
Trevor Noah said your book is honest, raw, and an absolute treat to read. What was it like working with Trevor?
It was a blessing. I've never met a black man with a better understanding of what to do with his anger than Trevor Noah.
Wow.
Very upset about a lot of the same things, but I think that's part of why he and I worked so well together. I'm the angry motherfucker from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have patience or a tempered response. But Trevor was very measured and very kind. Still very on the nose, but he knew how to not lead with anger, which gave more understanding to the issues. And I think it helped more people look at it and see, and, oh, well, what does Trevor have to say? And I never possessed that. And I think sometimes it is time to yell. It is a time to be angry. And I think in that regard, he and I complemented one another. But Trevor had the ability to take anger and quantify it into feelings and make people feel seen. And then through those feelings, try to make sense of what was happening.
Roy, thanks for stopping by Club Shay Shay. Guys, make sure you go out and check his book out, The Man of Many Fathers, Life Lessons Disguised as a Memoir.
Man, brother, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Roy Wood Jr.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.